Here we go, 6 o'clock exactly at the MJ Morning Show. Yeah, glad you could make it, Fester. You even last week when Roxanne was gone, you were walking in at the last second. Was that are you just lingering in the hall, just walking in deliberately at the last second?
No, it's not the case.
I'm just curious. Just what your recent timing?
I have on my phone.
Yes.
I set an alarm for 2 minutes before the show starts.
Right.
And I sleep in my car when I get here until my alarm goes off.
Sleeping in his
Then
car.
I wake up, run up the stairs, make my way down to the hallway, usually with like 1 or 2 seconds to spare.
It sounds like you've got some sleep issues. You're sleeping in your car until 2 minutes before the show starts.
It's more of a cat nap.
You don't see a problem with this?
No.
You're sleeping in your car in the parking lot until 2 minutes before show start, and you don't see a problem with that?
No. I mean, listen, wake me up, I'm ready to go.
All right, man, the Bucks.
The Bucks.
Little too cocky, huh?
You know,
What happened? I was coming back yesterday, so I didn't even watch any of the game.
Roxanne back from her booze cruise.
Yeah, Disney Cruise isn't necessarily a booze cruise, and I can promise you that because the wine did not live up to my likings, so I was not boozing on wine.
What was there, one bottle of wine on the whole ship?
What?
The wine did not. The boxes of Mickey Mouse wine didn't live up to your standards?
No, just keep that. Everything was perfect. I can't say enough nice things about it. It was so safe, so clean.
Wait a second. You're telling me you didn't get high-quality wine on a Disney cruise? I am shocked at this information.
You know what, MG, I would expect a quality wine on a Disney cruise. Sommelier Mickey yes, I'd like to recommend this.
No, they were struggling in that department. You know, they tell you can bring your own wine on the ship,
Oh, really?
and I thought about doing that, and I'm like, I'm only
cases of
gonna-
wine, or do they have a limit?
I think they have a limit of 2 bottles a guest.
2 bottles a guest.
Bottles a traveler, and I was going to bring 2 myself. Well, I was going to bring 1, and then I said, Roxanne, you only need to have 1 glass at dinner, maybe, but it was not my fave. That's the only complaint.
Hey, Diddy, they don't have really high quality wine on a Disney cruise.
I'm shocked at this information.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they've got a high quality wine in the Brooklyn federal lockup either.
No.
Yeah.
Did you hear over the weekend somebody speculated that Diddy, the biggest thing that tripped all these investigations, were his fights with the alcohol industry?
Really?
He tried to own his brand Ciroc,
Yeah.
where another company owned it and he private labeled it, or they used his name as like an owner. But he got into this big beef with the alcohol industry, which is a huge, powerful industry. And
they like hired investigators to just jab him and get back at him?
Or they pushed and leaked information.
Where did you see this?
Wow.
I saw it online.
Can you find this?
I'll look for it again. But just as we're talking about alcohol, then you mentioned, I'm shocked. At
We're
this
talking a
information.
lot about Diddy. Festus stumbles across a big story. You'll see if you can find it again. Why wouldn't you highlight that and send it to me?
Because it wasn't a big story. It was
It
like,
is a big story.
It's not like, it's
If
not like
if the whole machine got rolling, if the whole Diddy boulder started rolling downhill because maybe the alcohol industry was getting back at Diddy for some kind of a tiff. Yeah, that's
Don't mess with big booze. They'll come after you.
There you go, big booze. Don't mess with big booze and big
or
boobs.
big boobs, yeah.
Listen, you can mess with big boobs all day.
All right, back to the Bucks for a second.
Talk about big boobs.
Yeah, the Bucks got a little cockiness slapped right off their faces yesterday. The Denver Broncos rolling into Tampa Bay on a hot day from the mile-high city where the temperatures are much more. Come on.
To sea level, yeah.
Well,
quite an adjustment for them.
Well, sea level's better for them.
Yeah.
You know, they're used to working out at 5,000 feet, obviously, and playing football at 5,000 feet. But still, it's got to get a whole lot easier when you're playing at sea level. I mean, roughly, what is Ray J? Maybe 12 feet above sea level? I mean,
I don't know.
Maybe.
You tell me.
Yeah, so 26-7. And like I said, the Bucks had that cockiness slapped right off their faces yesterday. 26-7. What a terrible, terrible game for the Bucks. Nothing went right for the Bucks.
Nothing at all. The Bucks beat the Lions last week, one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, and then you got one of the suckier teams in the league right now. The Broncos have been on a multi-year, spiral downward. And here the Broncos come to town, and the Bucks
dominated them.
Stink up the joint.
Hey, good for the Broncos.
So the 3-0 was a no-go for the Bucks. Bucks are now 1-2 in this awful game. I mean, how many sacks?
1 billion.
Did Mayfield see?
7 sacks.
Was it? I mean, it was ridiculous. 7 sacks for Baker Mayfield. There's no running game.
And they had a good running game the first 2 games, right?
Nothing yesterday. Running game did not show up. We've got defensive issues right now, obviously. And in fact, the Bucks defensive line made the Denver quarterbacks, the Denver quarterback look like a star.
Yeah.
A rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
Third game of his career.
Yeah, rookie quarterback for the Denver Broncos looked like a veteran because of the defensive line for the Bucks. Anyway.
See, I knew I should come to work today. I got my full Bucks update right here. Everything I needed to know.
Maybe we should go back to what some of the prognosticators were echoing of only 8 wins for the Bucks. Hey, it doesn't get easier from here. You got the Philadelphia Eagles are in next week for the Bucks.
Right.
And then does the schedule get a little more difficult?
Yes, they have to fight a tornado and an earthquake at the same time. So.
Hey, speaking of weather, eyes are on this system that's still off of and on top of Central America, which is going to be heading this way. The computer models do put it into the panhandle, like around Panama City, but could be inching a little more east toward the Big Bend. And would we in the Tampa Bay area be completely out of the realm of possibility? Of course not. The models just move, all around. And it seems like some of the later model runs are moving a little bit more to the east. And here we are. We're at the end of September. This is when the west coast of Florida and the Tampa Bay area, this is where we have to be concerned, because typically it's the later September and October storms that present an issue for us. So we'll try to get Dennis Phillips on later on this morning. I shot him a text, so hopefully we can get him on. But the model runs are going to go this way, that way, but they have been pushing a little further east. But if you look at the spaghetti strands, they're pretty much all kind of concentrated up toward Panama City. And there's only one little flyer, one little stray little bastard that's running toward the Tampa Bay area. Andrew, our producer, said, yep, there's always one. Yep. All right, 6:08, just getting rolling here on a Monday. It is Rice Baby Day. Folks, we'll give away the first Zojirushi rice maker sometime this morning.
Yo, MJ, let's kick it. Rice, baby.
That's right. I got a Zojirushi rice maker, one of my favorite appliances on the planet. It's National Rice Month, and you're saying, what the hell? A radio morning show giving away rice cookers? Yeah. Zojirushi makes the best ones on the planet. I love this machine. It is one of the best appliances in the history of my life. I love it. It's like Oprah's favorite things. And I'm going to give away one of these Zojirushi rice makers every single day this week. So the first ones, and people are already saying, I want that rice maker. I want that rice cooker. And I'll tell you what, people that get these things love them. All right, back in minutes on the MJ Morning Show. Let's grab traffic, and we're back momentarily. Stand by. MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM, 620 exactly here on the MJ broadcast. Hey, I meant to mention this last week. I had it in my pile. I was just going through some of the leftover stuff. Do you know that you can buy something called Ring Rescue?
No.
Do you know what Ring Rescue is? Just think about it for a second. That's all the information I'm giving you right now. Let's just play a little game here. If I said Ring Rescue is something that is manufactured, something that's produced, you can buy this. Ring Rescue. Don't look at it. Hands off keyboards, ladies and gentlemen. Ring Rescue. What could that possibly be?
When you want to ring someone around their neck and someone rescues them from you being the victim of their wrath, Ring Rescue.
Oh, like Homer Simpson when he
Yes.
rings Bart's neck?
Exactly.
Why you do that kind of thing?
Yeah, your hero to
Don't-
stop that from happening.
No.
No.
Fester, Ring Rescue.
Does it have to literally do with rings?
All right, let me give you a little bit
Like
more
like,
here.
like wedding rings or
Yes.
or engagement
Ooh.
rings?
Yes.
You got this. You got this.
Yes. You're on the right course there.
Yeah.
Ring Rescue. What do you think it is?
Is it a company that repossesses rings for jilted lovers?
No, that's a good idea though. No. That's incorrect. Ring Rescue. Man,
It's-
it is having to do with a ring like
Mm-hmm.
jewelry.
Okay, is it GPS for your ring?
Nope.
That would be helpful. You
Nope.
lost your ring and then you had a little way to track it.
Nope.
What if you lost your ring like down a drain or someplace that you have to need like a plumber's?
All right, let me just
Oh, there you go.
I don't know.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea for ring rescue.
Yeah, if you drop your ring down the drain or you flush it down the toilet, that is incorrect also. Ring Rescue. It is a kit to cut off rings off your finger that are so freaking tight that you can't get the ring off, and it's like strangling your finger and cutting off circulation.
You know, I had this happen to me.
There was
I needed Ring Rescue.
Really?
Yeah, here in studio. Before I met you guys, after I had a kid, my hand swelled up and I had to go to the fire department down the street in the middle of the show and get the ring cut off
Are
my
you
finger.
serious?
Yeah, I did.
In the middle of the show.
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
This was during the Mason-Dixon
Yes.
broadcast?
Yes.
So wait a minute, you had to say to Mason Dixon that I gotta leave and go get a ring cut off my finger? My God.
Yeah.
Mason Dixon, Q105.
Really? Did they have a ring rescue kit? How did they cut the ring off? Did they have a special tool?
Oh, they absolutely did.
Yeah.
I was texting my brother. I'm like, something's not right. I was sending him photos of my finger all swollen.
Oh, that's right, because your brother is like isn't he a Pinellas Park captain or something?
Yes, but
Is he still doing that?
oh, yeah, he's still doing that.
Yeah, in the
That's his
last
career.
in the last 3 months, he's still doing
So-
the job he worked his whole life for.
Roxanne,
yes.
I just want to get this
Yeah.
right. Your brother is a Pinellas Park Fire Department captain.
He is.
Is that the right
Yes.
rank?
I believe so. I mean, I think so. It sounds good to me. But yeah, I know he's doing really well. But at the time, he was right down the street here. And he said, come on down. We'll take care of you. And they
Hold on.
They
Your,
cut
your
it.
brother was down the street? What?
Yeah, he
So you
was
went-
down the street at the
you-
Pinellas Park Fire Station.
You went to your brother's
Oh, you
fire
went to
Yeah.
his
house.
firehouse.
I went to his firehouse.
Because down the street is not Pinellas Park.
Yeah.
We're in St. Pete.
I thought
Yeah.
you just walked into some rando fire department
No.
where nobody was
Like-
expecting
like-
But
you.
it was close by. It wasn't that far.
Where's the? I don't know this. I probably should. What's the closest firehouse to us right here at our studios in St. Pete near 4th and Gandy? What's the closest firehouse? I don't know.
Let's call 911 and see what the response
No,
time
no.
is.
You
I don't
can
know.
you can Google it. I think we probably should know the closest firehouse.
Why, to drop off bagels?
Did you?
Yeah, there's one that's 3 miles away. The Pinellas Park one is 3 miles away.
Yeah, it's
so
not
that was
far. Yeah, it's
pretty down the street.
Did your brother actually cut the ring
Yeah.
off himself,
Yeah,
or
he
did
did.
he have one of his fire guys do it?
I think he did it himself.
Was he a captain back then, or is
No,
he?
he wasn't.
He
that
was,
was-
ring cutter back
Yeah, he
then.
was ring cutter.
Oh,
Head ring
yeah,
cutter.
because we've been together for almost 40 years.
Right. This is about 5 years ago. It was right after I had I can't remember, my first or second child. But it was so weird. So that
So
that
you had
is
these,
a thing.
You had these big, fat, swollen, fruit-cutting fingers.
It was weird. I was sitting here and I'm like, what's going on? And I showed Bobby Rich. He goes, oh, that doesn't look good. You better get that taken care of. I ran out the door.
My God, was it turning purple?
Yes.
Like a purple nurple?
Yes. It was very odd. And then everything went back to normal and I got my ring fixed
Yes,
and
circulation
everything was
does
fine.
that.
So they cut it off
Yeah.
And then you had to go to a jeweler to have it
yes,
sized a little larger. So what type of ring was it?
my engagement ring.
Oh, that's right. During your 9-year engagement
Yeah,
to Dig Dug?
We made it last.
Wow. So are you still wearing, is that ring on
Yeah,
your
it's the
finger?
same ring.
So that ring, let me
This
see
ring,
this
yeah.
thing. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can, I want to see which jeweler did it. Hang on a minute. Hold on a minute. All right. So, hang on a minute. You know what? I left my,
You left your eye at home.
I left my jeweler's loop at home. Yeah. Yeah. Looks pretty. So they snipped it right in the bottom part.
I think so. Yeah, they snipped it in the bottom.
That's the
yeah,
thinnest
that's the thinnest
point.
part.
Wow. Look at that.
Isn't there like an old thing where you could get like thread and try to fish thread underneath it?
Yeah, that wasn't happening.
This is not bad
No.
for cubic zirconia.
Right? Isn't
Yeah.
that nice? Doug
Yeah.
sprung.
Yeah.
He
All right,
sprung for
here
me.
you go. All right.
Hey, but
There's your ring. Anyway, so Ring Rescue, there's a whole kit. It comes in one of those like one of those plastic cases, those watertight cases.
Mhm.
Removing rings made of any metal, including tungsten and titanium, has never been easier. Are those tougher to cut off?
tungsten is
tungsten
like it's like a breakable material. Like you won't lose your finger if you get crushed in if your finger gets caught with a gold ring, it'll rip your finger off.
designed to do the work for you. The Ring Rescue Kit helps ensure safe and efficient ring removal every time. And I'll hold this thing up to MJTV. Man, it's like what do you mean my camera's not working?
Is it broken?
Hold on, my camera is not.
Does your
All right, hang on a minute.
does your
Uh-oh.
screen
Uh-oh.
display?
Time out.
Andrew said first of all, our camera system, again, another broken promise here on the MJ Morning Show. They promised us the better camera system where all four of us, or well, three now,
No.
could be on the screen at the same time.
Never.
And that was promised to me like 4 years ago. And another thing that's just a big fat lie around here.
This is
Just
the
like-
broken rings and broken promises segment.
It is. So let me hold this thing up now. So now now my camera's working.
I was hoping when I came back from vacation that we'd have a new studio.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, fat chance. Yeah. I mean,
talked to
we are getting closer, though.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I am smelling paint in the hallways where they are putting together new studios.
No.
What?
That paint is just a guy who has a huffing problem. It's a new IT guy. He's like just
Man, the Ring Rescue Kit. And it's just like a device that'll just snip the ring like right off your finger without taking your finger off.
Yeah, when your finger starts to turn purple, ooh, it freaks you
Oof.
out, and it feels like it gets more swollen because you're more anxious.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
This is a little gruesome. This is a little grisly. A woman is accused of decapitating her ex-boyfriend and then tossing his head in the trash can. Does the head go in the regular trash bin or the recycle bin?
that's the
Wh-
dumbest
what's-
question ever. Because the recycle bin is meant for cardboards that are unstained.
Oh, that's
right?
true.
You
Yeah.
don't put meat material in the recycling bin.
Yeah, it's not an organic bin necessarily.
What is meat material?
Well, material that's meat, which a
wouldn't
head
throw-
would be.
right, you
Everybody knows what I mean when I say meat material.
material.
Did you know you can't even put a greasy pizza box in the recycling bin? They don't want that in the recycling.
They just don't want the grease stains,
Like if you have a pizza box and it's riddled with grease,
which is usually the case.
so a head definitely wouldn't
All right.
want to be in the
Yeah.
recycling
Let me
bin.
give you the deets here. A Las Vegas woman accused of decapitating the father of her children.
Oh.
Ex throwing the head in a trash bin has pleaded guilty. Devin Michaels, 46, pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. That's awful.
Were there
But-
drugs involved?
I don't see any drugs involved.
No,
I
she
just
was
think this
fine.
is a toxic relationship. Yeah.
Wow.
So does it
I would-
say what bin it went into? The recycling or the regular?
No, that was my question.
Oh, okay.
I was just curious whether it goes into the recycle bin or. Hey, speaking of recycling, last week I think I saw something where one of the local counties recently, a ridiculously low percentage of recycled material actually went to recycling, and a lot of it ended up in the trash dump. Hey, Andrew, can you dig that up quickly? Oh, here we go. Here,
I don't think this is it.
Is this it? Hold on.
What?
Hold on. What's the date on this?
Wow.
I'm trying to find it. This might be.
No, that's 23.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, that's an old case where Clearwater, they apologized like months and months and months of Clearwater recycling.
Didn't even happen.
Never went to recycling, just got thrown in the regular trash. That was from 2023. There was something recent. Andrew, see, it was one of the local counties, whether it was Pasco, I think it might have been Pasco, Polk, and also, isn't Polk County doing away with recycling altogether?
I didn't know about that.
In
but-
some places in Polk County, I thought I saw
Let me see.
something to that effect. See if you can dig that up before I move on here. My God, it's just suddenly there's a waterfall of recycling questions.
So yeah, Polk County ends curbside recycling, and that's from a week ago.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Click on that. Click on that sucker. Oh, it's a video
Being
story.
eliminated in unincorporated Polk County
All right, do you have the details?
starting October 24th.
So that means like Lakeland or Winter Haven would be excluded.
Yeah. So unincorporated. So
Right.
not the cities within Polk County. I guess they might continue with the recycling. But there was another county. Did you find it?
I haven't found the other county, but I just had the reason why.
Reason
which
why
I thought
what?
was why they've eliminated it, which I
Oh,
thought was
in
semi-interesting.
Polk. Well, they're
Yeah.
two separate stories. Let's not
Okay.
conflate. Story number one is Polk County is ending recycling.
Mm-hmm.
And the second story is I saw there was like another apology that a whole bunch of recycled items did not get recycled.
Somewhere in
And-
here in the Tampa
somewhere
Bay
in the
area.
Tampa Bay area. And I saw this last week, and I meant to print it out, and I forgot. All right, so what's the story in Polk County why they're ending recycling?
Well, according to this commissioner, George Lindsay, curbside recycling, the market to sell recycled goods has dried up too much, and too much of it gets sent to their landfill. So, not happening anymore.
Wow, that's a big contract that someone's losing.
Yeah.
That's big. All right, hey, see if you can find out which county is apologizing for, again, not recycling stuff recently. All right, 6:32 at the MJ Morning Show. When we get back, early morons in the news on the way. We will give away $1,000, hopefully, to a Q105 listener at 8 o'clock. The Cash Kitty is back. Your shot to win $1,000. Also, we're giving away rice cooker number 1 from Zojirushi sometime this morning during National Rice Month. One of my favorite appliances on the planet. That's why we're giving away rice cookers. No other radio morning show in America is giving away rice cookers. This is year number 2 for this, by the way. So successful, people pick those damn things up the same day they want them. That's how much in demand these damn things are. All right. We'll do early morons in the news next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105, so stand by. Hey, folks.
Daddy said don't, but I said I'm gonna misbehaving.
Eyes on the windowsill, swimming in the creek.
Catching crawdads and playing with a stick.
I wore lipstick.
And I got caught shaving. Just two little country kids outside misbehaving.
Hey, when do the Gemstones come back? I love that show.
Yeah.
The Righteous Gemstones.
It's you guys' show. You love that.
Oh, have you ever seen an episode of The Righteous Gemstones?
No, I've
Come
heard
on,
good
Roxanne.
things here.
Yeah, you got to watch The Righteous Gemstones. All right, 642 MJ Morning Show. And that show, every episode could be ripe for morons in the news. All right, this is a local story making national news. 30-year-old guy arrested. There was a deadly shooting which occurred last month in Tampa, the Copeland Park area. Why? A fight over socks led to a fatal shooting.
Did someone do laundry and oh gosh, fatal shooting? That's tragic.
Hell?
Maybe I should refrain from jokes.
What's your joke?
Yeah,
I started to
hold
pull
on,
a joke out.
What's
but
your problem?
When you said
Hold on,
fatal, I was like, ooh, let me back it up here.
I mean,
Hold on, I
Yeah.
said fatal. And
It was the first word out of his mouth.
Yeah.
You launched into the joke after I said fatal.
I know, but I was focused on socks.
I mean, I can see humor in a sock fight.
Yeah.
And then somebody loses their life, and I can still find humor, but I'm a little warped.
Yeah,
you-
Look at me. Ugh.
TPD said the shooting occurred back on August 9th. They found a man in his early 20s with a gunshot wound. They rushed him to the hospital. The guy didn't make it.
Ugh.
A witness said that he had gotten into a fight with Jerome Parker, a 30-year-old, over a package of socks.
Listen,
Not worth it, man.
a package of socks in Copeland Park is a high-ticket item.
Guess you're right. Yeah, the witness told TPD that they had got into an argument after the victim found socks on the ground, and Parker accused the other man of opening up the package of socks and stealing his socks. So a murder over socks. Can you imagine what you in for? Murder. What for? Socks. My
Yeah.
God.
You can't have mine.
Is it a crime of passion? Did they sleep with your wife?
Nope.
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 Drug deal gone bad?
No,
Nope.
nothing like that.
Beef over
Yeah.
socks? Yes.
Tampa Police Chief Lee Burkhaus said in a statement from TPD, this was a completely senseless act of violence that took a young man's life. I'm thankful that the diligent work of our detectives led to an arrest, which I hope provides a small sense of closure for the loved ones of the victim. Yeah, Jerome Parker, 30, he's done for. 30 years old. Charged with murder in the first degree. Premeditated. Over socks.
Socks, yes.
My God.
Did I mention if it was like anklet socks or like tube socks?
Yeah, there's a distinction.
Yeah, I don't have the delineation on what kind of sock it was. Remember the socks we used to wear as kids back in the late 70s and early 80s? Remember those?
The big color stripes?
Yeah.
And stuff? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Man, those 70s and 80s socks.
They were white, all white, but then big color stripes
Yeah.
at the top.
The tube socks, and then they were green and red and orange and blue. Can you still buy those? Are they still available? Those big tube socks with the colored bands.
Socks I see now are either all white, all black, or they're screen printed
Yeah.
to have something super funny on them. Like anything, you
Yeah.
name it.
What's the show on Netflix with the kid? Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I think those kids in the early episodes, they were all wearing those tube socks with the colored rings. Hey, Roxanne found the story about recycling from the last segment. It was Clearwater. A story came out. Let's see. This is from Channel 10 last Thursday. Channel 10. 32 tons of recycling were rejected in Clearwater last month. Here's why. 32 tons of recycling collected in August in Clearwater was rejected due to high contamination. That rejection is prompting the city to remind its residents to recycle properly. Officials say crews have collected loads of recycling that were 50% garbage.
Yeah, you can't just throw trash in the recycling.
Hello, you throw plastic bottles and
Yeah.
cardboard boxes. I mean, all the freaking Amazon cardboard boxes that people get every freaking day.
All right, but if you have like a can of tomato sauce, right? And you dump the tomato sauce in your
Yeah.
recipe, and then you take the can and you throw it away into the recycling.
Mhm.
You can't do that. You can't have all that tomato product in there.
Well,
I mean, that's
you gotta clean out the can.
right. Yeah, it takes an
Yeah.
extra step.
You know, Michelle always busts me on that. She's like, "Oh, you're recycling the can, but you're wasting a half gallon of water to clean out the can."
That's actually a really good
Well,
point.
yeah.
You know, it's that's you got a little bit of a point there. What time? 6:47. Continuing with morons in the news. Oh God, this is sicko from Miami. Yeah, lots of Florida morons. Have you figured that out yet, folks? Sean Uribe. What a piece of garbage this guy is. In two separate incidents, cops allege that Uribe, a 35-year-old, followed female victims around Miami area department stores and used a medical syringe to squirt an unknown liquid on their buttocks.
Ew. How would
Yes.
he access their butt? Like through clothes?
No,
or?
no. He would walk behind them and squirt the liquid on their clothes,
They'd
on
be
their
dressed.
Yeah,
on their
okay.
butts. Yeah. While brandishing the syringe in one hand, Uribe was filming the vile acts with his cell phone. So he had syringe in one hand, cell phone in the other hand, and he was just walking up behind women in department stores in the Miami area and just squirting this liquid
It's insane.
on their butts. Oh, man, it takes all types.
Weirdos.
Yeah, it just, a sicko. According to police records, Uribe squirted a juvenile in late June at Ross. Hey, dress for less at Ross. What are you wheezing for over there?
I mean, dress for less. Don't squirt me with an unknown product.
Exactly.
I like Ross.
Yeah, the girl told cops that other shoppers alerted her to a man using a syringe to excrete an unknown liquid
Ew.
on her buttocks and began filming her. The suspect fled after witnesses contacted store employees. The episode, which was captured by a store surveillance camera, left a liquid stain on the girl's jean shorts. Those jorts?
Oh,
Late
yeah.
last month, cops began investigating a battery at a Marshall store that mirrored the June incident. The male suspect approached a woman from behind and used a syringe to spray an unknown substance on the victim's left buttocks area. The man, who appeared to be recording the victim, matched a physical description of the suspect in the earlier crime, was wearing an identical baseball cap. It was a Miami Dolphins cap. The victim in the August 29th incident was in shock, and before she could confront the male, he walked away from her and out of the store. She later picked up Uribe's likeness out of a photo lineup. Yeah, Uribe was arrested last week and charged with battery on a child, a felony, because the first victim that was known was a juvenile at the Ross Dress for Less store.
You know what I just realized? You said this word a moment ago, and
Yeah.
I realized I do not like this word.
What?
Excrete.
I don't know.
Can we eliminate that just entirely?
You're creeped out by excrete?
Not like that. You,
You know
said
what?
it, and I'm like, ah.
I'm going to juice up my use of
I
excretion.
mean, she's asking you not to. I mean, that's really
I shouldn't have
disrespectful.
said a word.
Do you like
about
the
it.
word moist?
No, that was Froggy's thing. He hates that word.
Moist.
Yeah, no, I don't. I do not like the word excrete. So what could the substance? What's it doing? Like, what is?
Well, hang on, a little more
We're gonna
here.
find out?
Yep, hang on. So police arrested this guy last week. He was hit with battery on a child felony, 2 misdemeanor battery counts, felony tampering with evidence charge. He posted a bond late on, I guess, Thursday or Friday, and then he got out of jail. He's subject to house arrest. A judge previously ordered him to stay away from the victims and department stores.
Oh.
No department stores for you.
Not just Ross's. I mean,
here
he
we
has to
go.
Stay away from everything.
Here we go. During a post-arrest interview, Uribe reportedly confessed and said the liquid in the syringes was Cetaphil, a moisturizing lotion
Ew.
that he claimed to have deleted all of the videos from his phone as well. So was he putting the Cetaphil? Was he trying to emulate
Yes.
something else?
or imitate?
Yeah. Does that gross you out as well?
Yeah, the whole story is just, it makes you realize there
Yeah.
are
Well,
a bunch
listen-
of weirdos out there that you have to worry about.
Listen to this. While in custody, Uribe was allowed to use his phone to call his father.
Oh.
During that conversation, which was recorded by police, Uribe directed his parent to go to the family residence where he'd been staying and remove hard drives. He said, quote, "I need you to get them and effing hide them. Put them under lock and key." Uribe's father, however, arrived at the residence after a cop was dispatched to secure the property. Wow. A subsequent search of the home turned up hard drives in the exact location where the defendant explained to the father they would be. Oh,
What a
man.
creep.
Listen, when you're in police custody, they're listening to you. They're recording you, you schmuck.
Yeah, you can't use their phone.
Investigators also seized 3 medical syringes containing a viscous white liquid consistent with that of, yes. Wow. What a sicko.
A lot of planning and
Oh, my
the
God.
foundational
what's
work
your-
went into this.
Well, what's your payoff? What's his?
He squirted the women with the liquid and videoed it because obviously he was looking back at the videos for his jolly pleasure time. All right, 6:53. That is gross. 6:53 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. That's why we call it Morons in the News. Another successful episode. We got a Zojirushi rice cooker to give away. Day number 1. We've got $1,000 that could be yours with the Cash Kitty at 8 o'clock, then 10 a.m., then noon, then 3, then 5 today. So stand by. The 7 o'clock hour starts next. Have you heard of the sardine diet? Have you heard of this thing?
I don't know.
No,
Oh,
but
but
I want to hear about it.
Oh, this sounds gross. You're going to be grossed out by
I don't
this
know.
as well.
Sounds a little fishy.
All right, yeah, it is a little fishy. All right, 6:54 MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Hey, Oh my God. Ugh. All right. So apparently this is viral. Have you heard of this thing?
I haven't. I mean, I know sardines are good for you. Every single list of good, healthy foods,
Well,
sardines is on them.
Why? Because they're packed with?
Omega-3.
That is correct. You are right.
What does that get me today? It's all the sardines I eat. My omega-3 is kicking in. It's helping my brain. No, I don't eat sardines because they're kind of nasty. But
Listen, I haven't had sardines in a while. I mean, when I go for a good omakase, Japanese, omakase in Japanese sushi bar language essentially translates in trust me.
right?
So omakase, and you might have heard that term, O-M-A, K-A-S-E, O-M-A-K-A-S-E. Omakase is typically a higher-end Japanese sushi experience.
So it's trust me, you won't get food poisoning.
Trust me, it's the chef's choice is
Oh,
what
gotcha.
omakase. And
Okay.
we've got a couple of good omakase places in town. New York is crawling with just really exquisite, phenomenal omakase counters. But I've had sardines, a sardine-like fish, and some people don't like the silver fish at sushi bars, but I tend to like those. And so I've had some really good sardine-like fish at some omakases. But Fester just walked in. Have you heard of the sardine diet? Have you heard of this thing?
I have not. I don't follow canned fish news.
If
that closely.
anyone, I see phones are ringing here, and I love it when people just phone up when I don't even have to tell people to phone up. I love when the calls just come in, and you're always welcome to do this. Whatever we're talking about, if you have anything to add ever, any story, any item we're discussing, if you have anything to add, you can always just call us. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Man, I got a question. Anybody listening on the sardine diet? Have you ever been on the sardine diet?
You know who eats a lot of sardines?
Whales.
Dolphins.
What's
Yeah,
that?
ding, ding, ding. I'll give it to you.
I was
No,
thinking
I'm sorry.
seals.
I'm sorry. That's krill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The whales eat krill.
yeah, no, but dolphins eat a ton of sardines.
Right.
They hunt sardines.
And
Hey,
they're
if
in
I-
such great shape.
Yeah, if I turn into a dolphin
yeah.
from eating sardines,
So
let me do
dolphins are on the viral sardine diet.
Yeah.
They saw it on Instagram.
Is it
They saw a reel.
Is it a full-time diet?
Well,
Is it like, like sardines is the main protein like for the next 6 months?
well, there are some people that do it for weeks and weeks on end. I don't think you can really sustain long term, but I guess for quick hits, a week or two, some people swear by this thing.
Do you start to smell fishy?
I guess so. I typed in sardine diet into a website called Google, and it's the first thing that came up was a Newsweek story about somebody who did a 3-day sardine fast.
Yeah, the person that I'm about to talk about did a 3-day, so maybe
Okay.
it is. Maybe it is 3 days. I listen. I'm ignorant to all of the details of the sardine diet.
Is it canned sardines?
Yeah. So they're the tins of sardines, and Roxanne, I would imagine after days and days of eating nothing but sardines, you probably excrete.
Right? Oh, stop it!
Roxanne hates the word excrete. If you run into Roxanne, just use excrete in a sentence. Hey,
Excrete me.
Roxanne, it's very nice. I'm excreting right now while I'm meeting you.
I'm always.
That's even
Okay,
grosser.
let's just change the subject from the word that I hate.
No, this-
Low levels of mercury in sardines. Just Googled it. That's good.
Low levels.
Yeah, that's what I said. Low
Yeah,
levels.
Low. That's good to know. Because some fish have very low levels of mercury.
Mm-hmm.
Other fish have very high levels of accumulated mercury, like tuna.
How about
Who is the actor? Who is the actor that got like mercury poisoning because he was eating tuna sashimi every single day? It was Ari from the Entourage.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? He got into Me Too trouble. Remember?
Yeah.
What was
yeah,
it?
Jeremy Piven.
Yeah, that's it. Jeremy Piven.
Speaking of Entourage, I was hanging out with Kevin and the two Kevins, and who's the short Jerry. I can't think of their names on the show.
When were you hanging out with them?
On Saturday night.
Hold on. You
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I bring up Entourage and you were
Uh-huh.
hanging with, you mean the agent guy?
Yeah.
The blonder, shorter guy that was
The
the,
friend, the
agent?
best friend.
Yeah, the best friend. Kevin Connolly,
Right. Well-
and his wife Zulai, and
Hold on.
Jerry and his wife Bree.
You were hanging with us
Yeah.
in the Bahamas?
Yes.
Folks, for those that don't know, Roxanne got off a cruise Friday morning from the Bahamas, and then on Saturday morning flew back to the Bahamas.
I did. It
And
was
apparently was hanging with Aquaman. And what was the... What,
Jerry Ferrara. That's his name. Jerry Ferrara.
Yeah, he was a turtle.
Turtle.
He was turtle
Yes.
on Entourage. Why the hell were you hanging with them?
They were down there at the golf event that Doug was working.
Oh.
And guess who else was there? Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Derek
I thought
Jeter.
of
Let me
you.
guess.
Well, of course, but it's his event. But guess who else was there who you would just I want you guys to meet each other because
Rosie O'Donnell.
No. Paige Spiranac.
Oh my God, I can't.
I know.
just-
She's the sweetest thing.
Oh my.
She's the nicest, sweetest
Yeah.
girl. And you just are triggered by her.
Because the New York Post was like every single day had some kind of clickbait.
It's not her fault.
Paige Spiranac
Yeah.
in some kind of little bustier with her giant boobs
she's-
flopping out.
I think
Was
they-
she at the golf event with
She
her
was. She
giant
was
boobs?
golfing. She was
Were her
golfing in it.
boobs all
Yeah.
in everyone's face?
I mean,
Paige Spiranac.
she's so sweet. And her boobs aren't as big as they are in pictures, I feel
Oh,
like. And I think
anyway.
they were just, they're nice, but
Good
they're,
to know.
All right. Let me grab a call here on the sardine diet, I think. Line 6. Hi, good morning. Trey is in South Tampa. Hey, Trey, welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning.
Are you aware of the sardine fast, the sardine diet?
Yes, I don't know how I end up with all these cans of sardines, but my daughter was 8 years old.
Right.
Her name is Taisha. She said, "Daddy, your breath smells." Because all I was eating was the sardines. So I was working at Amazon. So what I do
Right.
when I worked at Amazon, I pack my lunch, but I pack sardines just to eat on on the routes.
Yeah.
And when I used to pick her up from school, she used to be like, "Daddy, it stinks in here." And I'm like, "It's probably my sardines."
Now, hold on, Trey.
So
Was
the
this
sardine diet may be good with omega-3s and all that, but it's not good for your breath.
Right? You can solve some calculus problems with that big, strong brain of yours after eating all the sardines, but maybe not the breath
My
department.
God.
Right?
Yes, Fester.
Trey? Hold on. Was
I
this
needed some fluoride solve some fluoride problems.
All right, hey, Fester's got a question.
Were you eating sardines just because you enjoy sardines, or was this a committed diet where it's all you ate?
Actually, my wife was working at a shelter thing, and she'll bring them home. So
Yeah.
I used to just keep them.
Hold on, what are shelters packed with cans of sardines?
Well, you know what? There's even things that homeless people won't eat.
Like if you're like a volunteer
Yeah.
type job,
Yep.
and then they have sardines. Like I got stuff in the car right now. I'm looking at it right now, and she'll bring some stuff home.
Oh, what do you have in the car right now?
What do you got?
I got this is chili. This is Wolf
Were you about to say Hormel chili?
Wolf brand chili.
Wolf
I'm about
brand.
to go work out in the park. I got saltine crackers. I got a whole bag right here full of stuff.
Stuff in Trey's
keep it in
car
my
in
car.
South Tampa.
I got some mixed fruit in a can from Publix.
Right?
I live on.
You're like an Instacart delivery guy right now.
Hey man, gotta make it.
All right.
Those sardines, that sardine diet. Pack a toothbrush, some toothpaste, and some mouthwash.
All right, Trey. Words of advice from Trey. Thank you, Trey.
Have a good morning, man.
I mean,
Good to hear from you.
you would think if you motored through several cans of sardines a day for multiple days.
So on social media, it's on TikTok, it's on Instagram. It's called the Sardine Fast, and this is a hot fad.
what does it do?
And it's been around for a couple of years.
How much you
is
hate life after?
You
30 days?
take all other sources of nutrition out of your diet for 3 to 4 days, and you only eat sardines. No crackers, nothing. Water and sardines, that's it. It's loaded with omega-3s, vitamin E, calcium, and it can surge your ketones over the 3 to 4 day span.
Okay.
Some do 3 days, some do 4 days. The guy that tried it that I was reading about, he said he hated it at first. And then day 2, he started to crave them. And then day 3, he was sick of them again.
and day 4, he grew a blowhole and a dorsal fin.
Yeah.
You
But
start
by day 3, apparently
dolphin.
this guy lived in Manhattan. By day 3, he fell off the wagon and rushed down to like a bodega, a little convenience store on the corner, and started buying all kinds of processed snack chips.
Oh, I bet.
Sure, your body craves the carbs. Now, MJ,
He said he was done.
how many cans did he go through in 3 days?
I don't have. I think it was like 3 or 4 cans a day or
Okay,
something.
we know mercury, it's low in mercury, but how about radiation or radioactive materials? How sardines stand on that count?
So I've
I
never.
don't think they were harvested outside of Fukushima, if that's what you're asking.
I'm worried
I have
about
Yeah,
never had.
these sardines were raised in one of the containment cells over at Fukushima. Yes.
Sorry, Fester has something to say.
I don't think I've ever had a sardine. A can of
Really?
sardines that you have the little key and you
Oh, that's right.
Reel back the lid.
sardine
Oh, yeah.
key.
I don't think
I think now they just have pull tabs
It's
instead of the
tabs. Yeah,
sardine key.
I mean, okay, that's where I put sardines.
Why the hell would you have a sardine key and just not have a pull tab in the beginning?
I don't know. I mean, technology is in the canning industry comes along. I've never had sardines. I've never bought a can of sardines. I don't think I've ever even picked them up.
I'll tell you what I
Sometimes-
love.
yeah.
I love the canned smoked oysters. Now, I will not buy the ones made in China. I don't buy any food made in China. So any of the canned stuff, the canned clams, you got to make sure it's not made in China. I like the canned smoked oysters from Crown Prince. And if you look at the package, it's made in Korea. They're South Korea, and the South Koreans are, that's a first world nation. South Korea has, good food standards. But the price on these smoked oysters, hang on, if I go to Amazon right now, and Trader Joe's used to have a good price on them, but Trader Joe's used to be like $2.99 a can. Now it's up to like $3.49 a can, if I'm not mistaken. But Amazon used to be able to get an 18-pack on Amazon for like $42, $43, and now it's like $75 for the case. I'm like, what the bleep? Hey, if I go to smoked oysters on my Amazon app right now, smoked oysters, let me find this 18-pack. Here, $79. Crown Prince natural smoked oysters in pure olive oil, 18 cans in the box, $79. I was paying $45 or $42 for these things just 4 or 5 years ago, and now they're nearly $80 a case. I'm not buying them at that price. I got to check on, because Amazon got much cheaper than Trader Joe's for a while. Trader Joe's sells the same brand, the Crown Prince. So if they're $3.49, it makes sense now to buy them from Trader Joe's again. All right. Canned fish talk here on the
That was good. I mean, I could keep going. I'm finding out all kinds of stuff as I sit here and Google.
Listen, I just wanted to bring this up that apparently this fad persists. It's the sardine fast, the sardine diet. All right, 7:14 at the MJ Morning Show. When we get back, we start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Of course, we have to have a little more discussion on the Bucks. Oh, shocker. Guess what? Got an envelope in the mail. I'm the victim of another data breach. I have 12 or 13 or 14 letters in my pile. I've been breached. I'm breaching more than a pot of whales at this point. All right, so I got a new breach I got to talk about. We're going to give away the rice cooker in just a bit. Just a lot of crap. Michelle filled in for you on Friday.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you let that princess in this hellhole of a studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michelle had a good time. Michelle did a nice job, actually.
I'm sure she did.
Some nice feedback. All right, 7:15. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop. Oh, some mafia dude liked one of my Instagram posts.
Like a real mafia dude?
Yeah. Hold on
Like
a minute.
a Gambino or something?
A Bonanno.
Oh.
One of the 5 New York crime families. I got a wise guy that liked my post, and apparently he lives in Tampa now, but he's a New York gangster or former. We got a lot of stuff next. Hang on. It's the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. What does it mean if a wise guy liked one of my Instagram posts? What do you think, Fester? I mean, you're out of Long Island. You're an Italian dude. You knew plenty of connected guys growing up, I'm sure.
I don't know, man. I mean,
What do you think?
I have an issue with mobsters being on social media
Big
in the
time.
first place.
Good point.
I mean,
Well,
if you're in the business and you're on social media, that's whack-worthy in my book.
Gene
Yeah.
Borello, former New York Bonanno crime family gangster.
Gene, you got to know better. Now you're being outed.
Well, no, he's an author.
Oh,
No,
he's an author?
I think he wants to be outed. I guess he has a book out, the Truth Mafia Life. He might even do a podcast or
So
something.
he probably wants to come to the show.
Yeah, tell me you're an old mobster not afraid of getting whacked. You write a book.
The dude's local. So I'm looking, and he liked. You know what he liked? He liked my rattlesnake post in South Tampa. That's the one. So I posted this little video. My neighbor had a 7-foot eastern diamondback rattlesnake in their driveway. This is a couple of weeks ago, and I just noticed early this morning that Gene Borello, and I looked at his little description on Instagram. It says former New York Bonanno crime family gangster, book author and podcaster, owner of Auto Spa America Tampa. So Bonanno, Roxanne, can you name the 5 New York crime families?
Gambino.
Yep, that's true. Yep.
Capone.
No, it's not. It's no Capone. Come on.
Pacino.
No, there's no.
Don't forget the De Niro's.
The Trafficante.
No.
And the Ford Coppolas.
No, it's not. Come on.
I love the Coppola's family winery, too. They're so dangerous.
So wait a minute.
but they have great wine.
All you knew was Gambino?
I think so. I'm not I enjoy mob history, but I don't. I can't off the top of my head.
The 5 New York crime families are.
What? With a Bonanno.
Yep.
Gambino.
Yep.
Lucchese.
Lucchese.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yep.
Genovese.
Genovese.
I'm writing these down. This feels like it'll come in
Genovese.
handy. At some
And
the Horowitz.
no, it's Colombo.
Oh, the
So
Columbos.
those are the 5 New York mafia families. And hey, good morning, Gene Borello. Thanks for liking my rattlesnake post.
He's like, this guy, I like one post and now I'm outed.
Is there any symbolism there that he liked my rattlesnake, my venomous snake post? Wonder if any of the Bonanno crime guys ever took out somebody with a black mamba,
Hey,
or some other venomous snake.
hey, what did Gene Borello think of your Instagram post of your wife there trying to pair Pop-Tarts with the wine?
You saw that?
I saw that. She's like,
Dude, that's got like 25,000 views in 24 hours.
that's
Michelle
awesome.
could care so less about you.
Yeah.
The way
Hey.
the look she gave you, I'm like, that's right.
Bring that up. Now that you bring this up, folks, if you haven't heard me tell you how entertaining my Instagram feed is, trust me, I won't let you down. I'm happy. No, over the weekend, I had a couple of things. Over the weekend, I posted a couple of Instagrams. Let me see how many things. 28,000 views. I opened up, this is Saturday night. I opened up a killer bottle of wine. I opened up this 2016 Brunello. Great
nice.
Italian wine.
Oh, the Mastroianni?
It's a Mastroianni. It's a phenomenal Brunello. All right, roll it. I want you to listen to this. Listen to Michelle. And this was off the cuff. I mean, I had no idea she was going to say this. And because I was going to bust her, but she made it funnier. Michelle made the video funnier. All right, you ready? All right, roll the audio. Go. Here we go. Serious? I said I'm opening up a great bottle of wine. I got a 2016 Brunello di Montalcino Mastroianni. This is a phenomenal wine. 95-point Parker wine. I'm going to open this up. And Michelle says,
Will it pair nicely with my Pop-Tarts?
get the...
You know what? I mean, it really would pair nicely
Yeah,
with the
that's
Pop-Tarts.
maybe a nice dessert wine. Is it?
What kind of Pop-Tarts were they?
Strawberry.
Okay,
Yeah.
strawberries. Is strawberry the best? I'm a blueberry guy,
They were
but yes.
Strawberry Pop-Tarts. And these were the freebies that we got with my Hilton Diamond credit at the hotel we stayed in 2 weekends ago in Virginia Beach. Because, at the little snack area, as a Hilton Diamond member, I get a $30 credit to use
my
either in the
God.
hotel restaurant or I can gather up all the junk and candy. And Michelle took 3 packets of Pop-Tarts.
It's like you're me, dude. Okay. Here's the thing about MJ. He's popping open this. Is exquisite the right word to use
that
for
would be
this
a good
wine?
word.
This is an exquisite wine.
By the way, it's not terribly expensive. I think I was into these for like maybe $60 a bottle, maybe
Okay.
55.
Great.
You know, it's not a crazy priced wine, but
Whatever.
it happens to be a really good
All right.
wine for the money. 2016 for Brunello's were really good.
MJ's choking down a $75 bottle of wine,
I said 55.
and Michelle is eating snacks that she flew home from a hotel snack bar in Virginia Beach.
Well, we sat in the back of an American Airlines plane in the middle seats on American Airlines.
and it's a
in row
Pop-Tart.
27.
Publix has Pop-Tarts, buy one, get one
Anyway.
free every fifth
Yeah.
week.
The video is cute. If you want to see the video, go to Certified MJ Radio, my Instagram, with the mobster dude, with the Bonanno former Crime Family guy. Saw my rattlesnake video. If you haven't seen that also, a lot of stuff on my Instagram. Always give me a follow. If you don't like my stuff, then unfollow me. Certified MJ Radio. Hit me up. Certified MJ Radio on Instagram. Give me a follow. Going to give away the first rice maker during this long segment. We're in the middle now of an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Of course, this is September. It's National Rice Month.
Yo, MJ, let's kick it. Rice, rice, baby.
I'm going to give away the first Zojirushi rice cooker. They gave me 5 to give away this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Every day, just listen. I'll tell you when to call up and win a rice cooker during National Rice Month. And you're like, what the bleep? You're giving away rice cookers? Yes, I'm giving away rice cookers. First of all, you never know what to expect from the MJ Morning Show.
Actually, you do. We gave them away last
I
year.
I gave them away last year as well, about the same time, because September's National Rice
Yeah,
Month.
we gave them away in September, National Rice Month.
Folks,
yes.
I'm telling you, this appliance, this Japanese rice cooker, is an appliance I can't live without. I would off myself without this rice maker. I mean, that's how much.
There's no reason to live.
That exactly. I love this thing. This is one of the finest pleasures in my life, making the perfect bowl of Japanese sticky rice. You haven't had rice until you get one of these machines. Last year, every single machine got picked up like the same day. A lot of times, if we give prizes away, there's we gave away the remember the dash cams last year?
Yeah.
We gave away like 40 of these things, whatever. And there were like 3 or 4 that never got picked up. Every single rice cooker got picked up. And it'll happen again, I'm telling you right now. So your chance to win on the way in just a bit here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by. I want to run something by you. I want to see if you can guess what it is. This Hooters waitress claims that she wore this one item on her shift at Hooters and jammed up her tips to record numbers. Can you guess what it was? This Hooters waitress, this was at a Hooters in Memphis, Tennessee.
Now, Hooters has a pretty standard uniform.
They do.
Yeah, so
All
it's got to be an accessory.
All right, so think about this. Hooters waitress, Memphis, Tennessee. She wore this one item and walked away with the biggest tips she's ever had.
All right. Question.
Yes,
Was it patriotic or political in nature?
Oh, good question.
it was not.
Okay.
Incorrect.
Was it a choker? What? You got a little choker necklace.
Choker necklace. I know.
Come
I
on,
was
man.
expecting that.
Are you into that kinky stuff?
No, it's a choker
No,
necklace
like a
accessory.
necklace.
She's right.
Yeah.
It's not like a dog
All
chain
right.
choker, MJ.
That-
No,
that's-
and then there are a
that-
lot of chicken
actually-
jokes with that.
That's a
piece, and it's a
very
chicken
good
joint.
guess, but
I didn't even think of the chicken jokes, Roxanne. That's great.
Right?
She wears a choker choking chickens. Going chicken wings at Hooters.
I mean-
here's your tip.
Yeah.
after guys see her in that hot orange and white outfit, yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
No. Nope. Come on.
A little pin that said Jesus saves.
No.
What? I don't know.
Come on.
How about some bows in her hair?
No. You know what? I want to see if our listener can guess. All right, let's
Okay.
go. Let me go to phones on this. Hooters waitress walked away with $702 in tips. One shift, one night, went home with $702 in tips.
And the only thing different is this accessory?
She had an accessory item. She wore this, and she attributes that to jamming up her tips. 800-990-1047. Guess.
Leg warmers.
Well, the Hooters, they wear like those workouts, those
Yeah.
big fluffy, not workout socks, but just fluffy socks and
Yeah.
the white shoes, and then they wear the pantyhose.
Let's go to phones. 800-990-1047. What Hooters accessory item? Well, hang on. Let me. That's that. I don't want to give erroneous. I don't want to send you down the wrong path. What accessory item did the Hooters waitress wear that jammed up her tips? Went home with $702 that night. And she says that she's going to do it regularly now. She said, I almost just gave it away. Because after the person guesses, I'll tell you what one of her quotes was. Let me go to phones. Every single line is ringing. Let's go to calls here. Fester, that's your cue to bring up my phone screener.
Oh, I'm too busy looking at my texts where I'm getting 1,000 of them. Everybody's guessing.
Oh, open up my screener.
That's not it. Which one?
Oh,
There it
my
is. Hold
God.
on, we're getting there.
You're killing me
There we
here,
go.
man.
Let's go to
You're killing me.
line one. It's somebody.
John in Land O'Lakes. John, you're on the MJ Morning Show. What was the accessory item?
So I think it's actually kind of like a hairstyle, like pigtails.
Nope. It is not pigtails, but I can see where that could be a turn on for some guys. Andrea down in Lakewood Ranch. Andrea, what is your guess?
A garter.
A garter?
Ooh.
No. And I don't think that would be acceptable Hooters.
That's against the dress code, I would think.
That might be against the dress code. So a good tip here is that this is not against the dress code. Andrea, thanks for the guess. So what do we have? Pigtails and a garter. Let me grab Teresa in Palm Harbor. What was the accessory item the Hooters waitress wore?
A birthday sash.
You know what? There is another story from some time ago. We might have even done this. There was a Hooters waitress who wore a birthday sash, and she also went, it was Savannah. Savannah, a 22-year-old Hooters girl from Dallas, Texas, she made over $570 wearing a birthday sash some months ago. Great guess, but that is not correct, Teresa. Thank you for guessing. Debbie in Ruskin. Debbie, what is your guess?
A do-rag.
A do-rag.
A do-rag?
Yeah, on her head.
Yeah,
Nope.
we know what do-rags are.
Debbie, not a do-rag.
I've seen a lot of Hooter waitresses. I've never seen one with a do-rag on.
No one's guessing it yet. Matthew in Plant City, what was the accessory item that jammed up the Hooters waitress's tips?
She wore fishnets.
Nope.
Oh man.
I don't think that's acceptable. I think
I don't think so.
They wear pantyhose.
They wear
They've got to be
pantyhose.
those orangish.
Yeah. Paula in Lakeland. Paula, what's the accessory item?
A cancer survivor pin.
No. Nope.
That would be a
Nope,
stolen.
not it. All right.
So what's the word for that?
It's not stolen valor,
It's not
but
stolen
it's-
valor. But
if
it's,
it's- okay.
Stolen sympathy.
Opens up a line, 800-990-1047. No one's guessing. Let me grab Serena in Tampa. Serena, you're on the MJ Morning Show. This is Eric first. Eric, you're up first. Go ahead.
Yeah, one of those fur tails that sometimes they put on to be like a cat or a fox.
What?
Oh, he's going the furry route.
tails.
He's going the furry route.
What,
Okay.
like a Davy Crockett?
Yeah, like a coontail out of her caboose.
No,
Yeah.
no.
How about a Playboy bunny
was-
tail?
It was not. It was not. Serena in Tampa. Serena, hi, MJ Morning Show. Man, no one can guess
Good
this.
morning.
Serena, what is it?
I've got it. It's a pin with a picture of her cute little child on it.
No, it's not.
No- no-
Unbelievable.
Nothing I want to think of when I look at Hooter waitresses and the amount of trophies they have on their
Come
shelves.
on, listen. Come on, folks. 800-990-1047. Hooters waitress in Memphis, Tennessee, wore this accessory item, walked away with the biggest amount of tips ever, $702 in one night. This simple little add-on is what she wore, and she attributes that to jamming up her tips. Danny in Palmetto. Danny, MJ Morning Show. Go ahead.
Hi, guys. Is it a wedding ring?
No.
That's a good guess.
Nope.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Danny. Petra in Holiday. Petra, MJ Morning Show. What's your guess?
Good morning. I'm guessing friendship bracelets.
No, it is not. Wow.
Can you give us another hint?
No,
Because
it
just
is.
seems like
It
we
is
could-
so easy.
All right.
800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Bethsaida. Am I saying that right? In Tampa? Is it Bethsaida?
Yeah, Bethsaida.
Bethsaida in Tampa. Hey, Bethsaida. Welcome to the MJ Morning Show. What's your guess?
Hey, perfume. I wanna
No.
say perfume. Oh, okay.
It's not, but thanks for guessing. We're getting a lot of new callers in here. I love this. Let me grab Tony in Holiday. Tony, you're on the MJ Morning Show. What is it?
I'm guessing since it is Hooters, it is a breast cancer awareness pin.
No, we had someone else guess that. It's not. Tony, thank you. 800-990-1047. What is it? Tasha in Carrollwood. Hello, Tasha.
Hey, okay, so you were talking about this a couple weeks ago, but I think it's the fake braces.
No, it is not.
I like that guess.
But the fake cosmetic braces, that's a thing as well, where people are putting on fake braces, which I don't.
Yeah, for all those dads that go in there that are the pedos.
Oh,
Okay,
God,
that's-
pedo dads.
Take it down the really,
No,
really creepy avenue there.
Oh,
Thank you,
I mean,
Tasha.
I'm just a fan of good dental work, and here you are calling names.
is it an arm brace of some kind?
Like,
How would she serve the food?
Let the callers guess.
Okay.
It is not an arm. What, like a
cast?
like a cast?
Pretend
Like
cast.
a fake James gum cast in the back of the van?
No,
Yeah.
Roxanne. It was one of those neck braces that whiplash bracelets.
Can you help me get this couch inside this van?
So, MJ, I've never seen the phone lines like this.
I know.
I've gotten.
I know.
I've gotten
What do you mean
100.
what do you mean you've never seen the phone
Look,
line?
everyone's jammed because I'm getting 100 text messages of people complaining the phones are jammed.
Yeah.
And they can't get through. We have more guesses on this than you can.
Liz, Newport
And none of
Richie.
them are right.
Hi, Liz. Go ahead. What's your guess?
Is it a cowboy hat?
No,
That's
not a
against-
cowboy hat. Thank you for guess. Pam in Palmetto. Pam, what is the guess?
Glasses?
What did you say?
Glasses?
That is correct.
Wow.
I thought we had that guess already.
Nobody said glasses.
No one said Pam. Yes, she wore black framed like librarian looking eyeglasses, and it was like sexy Hooters librarian look. And her tips went through the freaking roof. She walked away with $702 for one night in tips.
Wow. That's a lot of money.
That's a good haul. That a $700 night at Hooters. That's a good night.
Yeah.
Hey, Pam, congratulations. You got it.
Thank you.
All right. Every line was ringing.
They're still ringing.
Yeah, they are. And a bunch of them dropped off, though. But now they're all ringing again. Let me see what Gloria and Hudson was going to say. Hey, Gloria, what were you going to guess?
I was going to say a Trump pin.
Yeah,
no,
nothing
That was
political.
that was
nothing-
Fester's original.
nothing
deal.
political. No, did you hear Gloria? Did you hear the answer?
Yes, I did. The glasses.
Yeah, the glasses. All right, thank you. Look, every single line is still ringing in this place.
Jeez.
Eyeglasses. Simple item, and she says that she's going to do it. If you walked away, why wouldn't you wear them every night? She's like, yeah. They call her a bosomy brunette who is at a Hooters in Memphis, Tennessee. She says maybe, and this was the quote that I almost slipped on. She said in the article, maybe I should stop wearing my contacts. She shot a little video and she put it up on social media. And she said, hey, I made $702 in tips. I'm a Hooters waitress in Memphis. And this little hack, this little trick scored me my biggest tips ever. And so why wouldn't you wear the damn glasses every single day?
Yeah,
Every
go
shift,
ahead.
yeah.
I mean, if you don't wear the glasses now, you're leaving money on the table. It's ridiculous.
And people probably start to ask for you too. Oh yeah, can I have the waitress with the glasses? Like she'll get a little brand going.
Now, if she mixed that with Roxanne's idea of having an arm sling,
I know. Right?
if she could put a couple of these together, The hot librarian in a Hooters outfit and a broken wing.
I'm going to tell you right now.
And the choker.
I'll tell you right now. Nothing is hotter than a sexy Hooters waitress with the librarian look. Bring me my wings with librarian glasses on. Yeah, how about that? 7:47 at the MJ Morning Show means we're 13 minutes away. Actually, 7:48 right now. We are 12 minutes away from the Cash Kitty coming back with a new word and your chance to text that in for $1,000. Your shot at $1,000 happens in just a bit here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Want to play some audio, and again, I guess people are doing this on Instagram and on TikTok. If some guy did this in a restaurant where I was, I mean, people might think there was like a robbery going on or like somebody pulled out a gun. I think this is dangerous. So you're in a restaurant. Let me just set the stage here. You're in a restaurant, and suddenly at one of the tables, and this is a busy restaurant, and it was pretty packed. The tables were very close together. It wasn't a fancy restaurant. If you're in a restaurant and a guy starts doing this, guy just starts screaming, and apparently this is a thing that you just start screaming in a restaurant, and then you record it and you put the video up on social media to capture people's responses.
I mean, he's not threatening anybody, right? He's not like, yelling it's a robbery or anything.
For a second, it sounded like he was counting in French. Un, deux, trois. That's what I heard.
Heads up. Heads up on this stupid trend. And you know what happens? That there's all kinds of copycats. You've got all these stupid, dumb imbeciles that want to emulate what they saw on TikTok, TikTok, or Instagram. So heads up, if someone just starts screaming at the top of their lungs in a restaurant.
See? Actually, yeah, 333. 12. Actually, it sounds like...
Is he asking for salt?
Is
At
that
the end,
yeah.
At the end, he's asking
salt.
But Roxanne's right. He was counting in French.
If you translate the whole thing in French, the first word he says is the S word in French, and then he says 2, 3. So, poop 2, 3, whatever that.
All right. Listen to this.
It's a French guy.
I pulled a lot of things off of Instagram this weekend. I'm not on TikTok because it's a Chinese spy operation. So I don't have TikTok on my phone because if you do, the Chinese commies have access to everything on your phone. But here's another thing that I saw. This popped up in my feed, and I've never heard this. I heard something else regarding Tom Cruise. So somebody locally posted this, and it sounds like they're from out of town, and they just got off a cruise at the port of Tampa, and then they made their way over to Clearwater Beach, which I'm sure a lot of folks do that. You're in Tampa, you grab a cruise out of Sparkman Wharf area, or I'm sure people head to Clearwater Beach. I don't know, maybe they were on one of the cruises out of the Clearwater Marina. They do the dolphin cruises or the dinner cruises. Listen, I don't know what kind of cruise they were actually on, but they're talking about Tom Cruise. And a lot of people in Clearwater, a lot of locals know the apartment building where Tom Cruise locally has his apartment. So I'm aware of it when I drive over, the Intercoastal, and I go over the bridge, and I can, near where, Scientology is, Fort Harrison area in downtown Clearwater, Tom Cruise has an apartment nearby. Listen to what this woman says.
So we learned on our cruise that the top floor of this is Tom Cruise's apartment, and he has an underground tunnel that leads to the Church of Scientology headquarters, which is right there. Pretty cool.
You hear what she said?
Yeah, we did.
That she learned on her cruise. Now, those words might lend the fact. Yeah, she might have been on one of those like cruises out of the Clearwater Marina.
Yeah,
and
she
maybe
could have
that's
been
more
on
like
it.
it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that pirate cruise, that pirate thing.
Matey, you see the building over there?
And guess what? I went on, I don't know, 10 years ago.
Right.
No, more than that. No, maybe 10 to 12 years ago. I was on that pirate ship for one of Julian's classmates at Shorecrest's birthday party.
It's a good time.
Yeah, I was on that pirate ship years ago.
Yeah, so it was the pirate cruise. It was a dolphin sightseeing cruise out of
Is that what she was on?
I don't know.
Well, maybe. So the apartment building where Tom Cruise's apartment is, I know where that allegedly is. There's been a rumor that he has a special elevator that takes his car up to the top, that he can pull into a garage, and there's an elevator that takes his car up to the top.
All right.
To his multiple units on the top of the apartment building.
Multiple places to park his cars.
But if you were listening to the audio clip, what I did not know, and I don't know if this is true or false, she says that she learned that Tom Cruise has a secret underground tunnel that goes from that apartment building to the Church of Scientology building, which is not that far away at Fort Harrison. So is that true?
All right, hold on.
Does Tom Cruise have a secret underground tunnel that he never has to leave the building? He can just go down from his lair on top, take an elevator down, and then go underground?
Maybe they don't mean underground because it is at sea level, isn't it?
Well, that was one of my questions.
So maybe it's more so just a secret passageway.
Does anyone know? Is this true? Is anyone listening that knows whether Tom Cruise has a secret underground tunnel or passageway? And, that crossed into my mind. How deep can you deep over in that area of Clearwater without...
How deep can you dig?
What'd I say?
Whatever you meant to say, you said the opposite.
You said, how deep can you dig?
How deep can you dig before you hit the water table in that part of Clearwater?
Yeah, there's no underground deal. I would guess that it's just like a passage.
Well, does anyone know? Does anyone have some inside Scientology information? Does Tom Cruise have a secret tunnel? 800-990-1047. If you're hooked up to the e-meter right now, give me a call.
Are you trying to disappear?
800-990-1047. Does Tom Cruise have a secret tunnel from his apartment building to Scientology? Does anyone know? True or false? Or is that just some kind of crap they're giving out on the Dolphin Cruise? Are they just making stuff up?
I don't see how you can dig that deep, because you got to figure underneath the street level is like the water runoff, and the sewer level, it'd have to be below that.
All right, 800.
I don't buy this.
990-1047. Listen, I'm just going to spend a minute on this, and I got to move on. 800-990-1047. True or false? 800-990-1047. All right, Andrew's screening some calls right now.
I have two pieces of information that may or may not be helpful to this puzzle.
Okay.
But the
all right, hold on a minute. Let me.
Okay.
Can I grab the call?
Yes, let's hear the call.
All right, Eric's in Tampa. Eric, hi. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Yes, Eric in Tampa. Go ahead.
Good morning, MJ. It's Eric the Tucker. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Eric. What's up? What do you have for me?
So I took a refrigerated grocery load to the Church of Scientology a couple of years ago, and after backing up to the docks and everything, I was going in to get the manifest, go over it with the manager there, and as I was wandering looking for the bathroom, I got lost, and a security officer, an armed security officer, stopped me and said, "Whoa, son, you can't go down there. That's private." And if you look down the hallway about 20 yards, you can see a clear sign that says Tom Cruise only, no admittance.
Well, come on, you're making this up.
Pictures, or it's not true.
Hold on. You're pulling my leg.
It's down the hallway, just to the left of where they do the receiving end for the kitchen for the church.
So you're telling me that you were delivering a truckload of refrigerated food. You're a delivery driver. You were delivering food to the loading dock, and you're claiming you saw a passageway that said Tom Cruise only?
Yeah, I was stopped by a big old giant security guard. Probably this guy was big enough to make two of Fester.
All right, hold on a minute. Eric, are you yanking my chain here?
No, I'm telling you, the guy had his hand on his gun and said, if you step one more foot closer, you and me are going to have a problem.
Get it. Come on. Swear to me you're telling the truth.
I'm telling you, dude, I got escorted back to my truck, and I was not allowed to get back out of my truck. They brought the paperwork back to me.
What kind of food were you delivering to Scientology?
I was delivering a load of meat.
And you're telling me you saw a passageway in a long hall and the sign said Tom Cruise only?
Yeah, big old sign that said Tom Cruise only, no admittance, private. There was security there.
And you think that must have been the secret tunnel for Tom Cruise?
Probably about 20 or 30 yards kind of northeast of the loading dock area.
Wow. All right. Listen, Eric, thanks for the call.
I mean, who am I to argue with the trucker?
Listen, I'm a pretty good BS detector. I can't tell if Eric is. We have Anonymous on line 2.
I mean, Eric believes it.
Anonymous in Tampa. Hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, good morning, MJ.
Yeah.
Hey, it is the truth. He does. There's a sign over it, the door, and it says only for him. Only for him.
So here's another call saying that there's a sign for a doorway to a passage that says Tom Cruise only.
Yes. I am a member.
So you've seen this sign?
Yes, sir. I have.
Wow.
Yes, sir. I have.
Are you still an active member?
Only him. It's only him.
Or are you still a Scientology active member?
Yes, I am.
All right.
So what would it, I mean, it didn't take much for you to call a radio station. What would it take for you to get a picture of it?
Well, if you want a picture of it, next time this is about, as a matter of fact, I'm going to send you a picture.
I would love a picture of it.
Oh, do you have
this.
Do you have a, what did you say?
I said, let's see this.
Oh, I thought you said penis.
She might have said that too. But she said, let's see this.
No, that is for protection. There's a lot of things that a lot of people, we cannot say.
Right.
But it's for a big reason.
All right, so wait a minute. Do you have a picture on your phone of the Tom Cruise only sign?
No. We're not allowed to take these pictures out just like that, but I can easily get it.
All right, so hold on. You can send me a picture?
Yes, of course.
All right, send me a picture to mj@mjmorningshow.com. That's my
Hold on, put him on
That's
hold.
my email address, mj@mjmorningshow.com.
I know your email.
Fester, why do you
Well, put him on hold.
Why do you want me to put him on hold?
Andrew gets his number. I'll
All
send
right.
him a text message.
All right, hang on. Anonymous, hold on a minute. Andrew, our producer, is going to pick up the
Andrew,
phone.
get his number. I'll send him a text message, and
All
hopefully we can get it.
All right.
I mean, that would be a score to get the sign that nobody's ever seen outside of the Church of Scientology.
Oh, let me give out the Roxanne. Hold on to that thought.
Oh, yeah.
Let me do Cash Kitty here quickly. 8 o'clock exactly at the MJ Morning Show. Time for your shot to win $1,000. You got a chance right now. This hour's word is money. Very fitting. This hour's word is money. MONEY. Text the word money right now, nationwide, to 45911. Text the word money to 45911 before 8:15 for a shot at $1,000. Or you can enter it on the Q105 app or at myQ105.com. Text the word money to 45911. Cash Kitty back here at 8 o'clock, now 8:01. We'll do it again with a new word at 10 o'clock, then 12 noon, then 3 p.m., then 5 p.m. You were going to say.
Yeah, I have two little pieces of information. One, I have a guy I know who did maintenance and, some construction at Tom's place, but he had to sign a non-disclosure.
NDA?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said anything is possible in there. So I'm picturing like Mission Impossible, Scooby-Doo gadgets. You touch a bookcase and it turns into a secret passageway. He's probably got everything imaginable.
Does a candelabra float like with like a headless scepter or something?
That's ridiculous. Right. But you do have to move the candelabra to get the bookcase to swivel.
Spins around.
Yes.
Yeah, but he said as soon as he got in the elevator, he was like, wow, this is big enough for a car. And they're like, yeah, this is how Tom gets his cars up here.
Yeah.
And he has the whole floor for his cars. So that's one thing I know. And then just this weekend, I was talking to somebody who spends time with some people who know Tom, and this is where he lives.
Yeah.
This is where he spends
most of his
the
time?
big bulk of his
Right.
time. If you see him, doing his movie shoots and whatnot and his tricks on in the Olympics, okay, he's traveling, but he spends the majority of his time in Clearwater.
Anonymous, Pinellas Park on line 6. Hi, Anonymous. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Yeah, Yeah, I helped build the top 2 floors in that building.
Oh, there you go.
Well, actually, they redid the whole building, and I put the elevator in the whole new elevator in the whole building.
Really? And is the elevator capable of bringing his car up to the top as is reported?
No. The elevator only works in the back by the pool, where the parking garage is.
All right, so what's the story about him being able to put a car in an elevator? That's not true?
Yeah. You can put a car in the elevator, but not in that building. There's a building out back of that building that he lives in that's got a pool and a parking garage in it.
Yep.
And he pulls his car into that. I built the elevator for the car.
Oh, you built the car elevator. Wow.
Yeah.
So he parks it into the building next to it and then takes a private passageway into his building and takes an elevator up to his place.
I don't think there's a private passageway from the parking garage to that building.
I don't think he's
There's
crossing
just
the
a
street.
separate building back there.
Well,
It's
point is
Capitol
he's
Theater
got, yeah.
across the street, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So his building is in between.
So he's got
And
a car
then-
elevator.
Yeah.
And how long ago did you build the car elevator?
Oh, it's been, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years.
Gotcha.
I'm
All
not
right.
sure.
Thanks, Anonymous. Appreciate it. Man, a lot of phones ringing on the Tom Cruise story here.
Wow, I'd love a picture of that sign. It just says Tom Cruise only.
Yeah, hopefully that guy comes through.
We'll see.
Well, I'll be waiting on the edge of my seat.
I mean, it's funny. The sign doesn't say "Do not enter" or "You will be in big trouble." It actually says
Tom Cruise only.
Right? Isn't that funny?
Yeah. You'll be excommunicated from the Church of Scientology if you walk down this secret passage. All right, I have the daily pile of P. Diddy. And there is a very, very uncomfortable piece of audio that has surfaced from an old Conan O'Brien show.
I saw that.
Yeah.
That's creepy. And guess what? Conan was on the right side of that. The way he answered.
Ooh.
What did Conan say?
Well, listen.
Was
Well-
Conan just freaked out by everything?
Guess what, Fester? You've come to the right place because we've got the audio from Conan O'Brien from 22 years ago. And Sean Diddy Combs is joking about locking up women at his parties. And somebody, and you know that folks are scouring any interview, anything that, and I'm sure there's plenty of stuff that's not going to be uncovered. Because, listen, P. Diddy has been around for, 25 years plus at this point, with his career. So I'm sure there's some very distasteful, uncomfortable, maybe even telling interviews that he's done. This took place, again, this is resurfaced. It's Conan O'Brien 22 years ago. And he was on with Conan O'Brien in 2002. This was Late Night with Conan O'Brien. And it's gone viral over the weekend where he makes comments about having locks on the doors to prevent women from leaving his party. Oh, my God. This is... Listen to this.
No, I don't know if guys have noticed this. Like, a lot of ladies drink water at parties. They just, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're going to leave.
Right.
Got to keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
Rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
That just sounds disgusting. What are you
Oh, my God. Hey, you know what? Conan is zero. I like Conan O'Brien.
I do, too.
I think Conan is a great guy. I like his humor. I think he's a brilliant guy. I'm a big Conan O'Brien fan. And I tell you what, Conan had him nailed 22 years ago, and you can even hear that's from a
Sounds disgusting.
That's from a VHS tape. Do you hear the little VHS,
Crackle.
little video noises? Yeah, that's from an old VHS tape that somebody had, and then dug that thing up and said, "Hey, you know what? I think I might have an old Conan O'Brien VHS tape with Sean Diddy Combs on it."
You know what's funny when you listen to that? It almost makes you wonder if Conan knew something, like he heard enough rumors to know not to be like, oh, that sounds like a fun party. I'd love to be invited. Like he knew, like, no, there's some crazy stuff that goes
when
on
the
here.
Super Bowl came to Tampa back when like the Giants played the Ravens
Right.
in Tampa. It was like 2000, maybe 2001. And Diddy was having a white party at a club.
Oh,
in
that's
Clearwater.
right. I remember just the cursory information.
And we did everything we could to break into that party.
Into the white party, yeah.
And we couldn't. I mean, security was beyond anything
right.
we've ever seen for a party. And I tried to become one of the caterers. I tried to go through the back entrance. They had everything on lock. And, he's always been known for throwing the best parties that people can actually go to and take their photographs at.
Right.
Nobody knew about the freakouts.
Apparently with cases and cases and cases. And
cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. More than 1,000 bottles altogether.
Oh, you weren't here last week for that.
No, I missed this.
Oh, you missed all that.
I was on the cruise with no internet and no Wi-Fi.
You missed the best week ever if you're not a P. Diddy fan.
That was from
bring
that
me
was
up to
from
speed.
that was from the presser. That is Damian Williams, the U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, where Diddy was indicted. And this was at the presser. They found cases and listen to this.
Cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. More than 1,000 bottles altogether.
Over 1,000 bottles of lube and baby oil. In fact, there was a story that they would have to pay the hotel damages for damaged sofas and sheets because they'd get so much lube and baby oil all over the hotel rooms.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I wonder if lube stock prices are going to go down now that Diddy's out of this freak-off game.
I will say, I saw something that the latest P. Diddy collaboration, he had that brand, Sean John. Remember the clothing
Yeah,
line?
oh, yeah.
Now it's Sean Johnson and Johnson.
Oh,
Because of all the baby oil.
or one of those quick oil lube change places.
Yeah.
Diddy's Quick Lube. Diddy's Quick Lube.
Could you not find baby oil in Los Angeles County for like the last 20 years? I mean, where did it all go?
Yeah, this stuff goes fast.
Diddy's crew bought it all.
Hey, do you guys have baby oil? Nope. Everybody bought it.
Let me go back to the audio. I want to listen to this again. I want to listen to the Conan O'Brien audio one more time because, man, there's...
Do you have a longer clip of it?
No, it's 37 seconds.
Okay.
That's all. I have 37 seconds. Andrew, do you have a longer clip than that? But is it pertinent? Is it relative?
I mean, that's how they started talking about it?
Is
or?
it relevant? All right, let's listen to what we have again because there are some interesting cues in this.
No, I don't know if guys have noticed this. Like, a lot of ladies drink water at parties. They just, so if you don't have what they need, they're going to leave.
Right.
Got to keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Ooh, and the audience is laughing at locking women in his parties?
Yeah, because they think it's hyperbole. They think he's just cracking a joke.
But you know what? A lot of times when people pretend to joke, you're really having insight into reality.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
Yeah, see, Conan's got the whole damn thing figured out. Conan busted this case wide open 22 years ago on Late Night.
It's a little kinky, but rock with me. But just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat? You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning?
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and
Right, so he's talking about making the party hot, so the alcohol has a greater effect, dosing up the women and making it hot to increase the effects of the alcohol and then you're locking them in?
Yeah, that's just what I want to do. Go to a party where I'm like sweating my butt off. No, thank you.
None of this is talking about freakouts and wild sex parties. I mean, think about it. I mean, maybe not.
Hold on. He's not saying freak out per se, but he's clearly describing his MO. And then Conan's got him figured out.
Builds up a nice little sweat.
That just sounds disgusting. What do you?
Yeah, Conan's got the whole thing. All right, Andrew, what do you have? You have a longer cut?
Yes, I do.
All right, tell me what you have before you play it.
It is the same episode, but it has a little more at the beginning and end.
All right, go ahead. Roll it. Conan O'Brien, 2002. So 2002, Conan O'Brien. Go.
A killer party. What's the ingredient? What do you do to make just an amazing killer party? Because mine, I put out the Cheese Whiz. I put on the Paula Anka. No one comes. Wrong move.
See, you're doing the wrong things.
Wrong thing. Okay.
This is what you need to do. Women, beautiful women, of course.
Beautiful women.
Beautiful men for the ladies, of course. We need alcohols.
Right.
Alcohols.
Right. Not just one alcohol.
Alcohols.
Right, just different
Plurals.
blend. You need the
Blends.
ladies, you need the booze.
You need some water.
For watering plants? What?
No, I don't know if guys have noticed this. Like, a lot of ladies drink water at parties.
There it is. All right, so
so
now-
if you don't have what they need, they're going to leave.
Right.
Got to
right.
keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
rock with me. But just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
That just sounds disgusting. What are you doing?
Depends on the way you look at it.
Depends. Oh, people start getting it gets kind of sexy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you sexy. New word for you.
Yeah.
You need some good music, and you need me, of course.
Yes, you spice up the party.
And I guess, what about the
cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs?
What about that?
More than 1,000 bottles altogether.
What do you say when you're going to buy all those? Like, excuse me, what are you going to be doing? What do you say to the cashier? Oh, we're going to go on a slip and slide. We're going to make it really
Can you imagine? You roll up to the Target checkout stand with the red plastic shopping cart with 50 bottles of baby oil and lube. What the hell's going on in that place?
Explain yourself.
Yeah. So that's an uncomfortable chunk of audio that has resurfaced. Also, over the weekend, TMZ published video of Diddy getting arrested at the hotel. Days after Sean Diddy Combs was arrested on federal charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, transportation, or engaged in prostitution. A video allegedly showing his detainment made public. Footage published by TMZ on Friday. A man who is purportedly Combs walks into a hotel lobby with a group of people and is immediately led away by two men. In another scene, four men lead Combs back out of the lobby while his hands are behind his back, seemingly in handcuffs. The incident took place at the Park Hyatt Hotel last Monday, where Combs had been staying for more than a week after traveling to New York, as his lawyers have described, to surrender to authorities. He was supposed to allegedly surrender Tuesday morning, but something spooked the feds, and they moved in to arrest him Monday night.
Oh, boy.
Did they have any details that he was going to flee somewhere? Or?
Note to self, if you're ever going to turn yourself in, but you decide to flee, do it more than 12 hours in advance.
A couple of other Diddy things before I move on. Oh, here's a shocker. Diddy's music getting less play on radio since the sex trafficking arrest.
You know what? I have to say, I haven't heard him on the radio in the last week and a half.
Justin Bieber update. Remember last week we have the story that Justin Bieber was allegedly despondent and very depressed over the Diddy thing. And, there were concerns that Bieber was groomed by Diddy when he was, like 14 or 15 years old? Remember that?
Yep.
Bieber now focusing on being a great dad and husband after the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking arrest. According to Page 6, Justin Bieber is not focused on his old pal Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking arrest after welcoming his son Jack Blues with wife Haley Bieber. He's aware of Diddy's arrest and all the allegations. It's not anything he wants to focus on, though. So this is a little different take now, that he has stayed busy and in a happy bubble since his baby Jack was born last month, back in August.
You got to figure, Diddy knows a lot of people, or a lot of people have had interactions with him over the years, but not everybody knew this side of him.
I bet a lot of people did, and I bet if you've
But I bet you a lot of people
about
I
it,
bet you a lot of people
you're
didn't.
freaked out about it.
Or you heard he likes to party, but it's just not your scene, and you're not invited to those parties, so you don't know exactly how far it goes.
Now, in regard to the baby oil and the lube, Diddy's attorney has come out with a statement. This is Page 6 again. Sean Diddy Combs is in relatively good spirits despite his high-profile sex trafficking scandal, according to his lawyers, downplaying the federal raid that uncovered 1,000 bottles of lube and baby oil. This is his lead attorney, Diddy's lead attorney, Mark Agnifilo, however you pronounce it, he said, quote, this was Saturday. This is outside of the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center, the Fed lockup where Diddy is. So clearly, his lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, was visiting Diddy on Saturday, and I guess he was asked about the baby oil and the lube, and he said, quote, I don't think it was 1,000. I think it was a lot. I mean, there is a Costco right down the street. I think Americans buy in bulk, as we know.
What? That's the answer?
Well, hang on. He goes on to say...
I mean, I bought 36 eggs last week because I buy in bulk, okay? I don't buy 1,000 bottles of lube.
Yeah, little I don't even...
Wow.
I don't know if Costco has 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
I mean, I bought 2 of those toilet paper things where you have like those big chunk
30,
squares.
36 rolls a piece or whatever.
And I said, I buy in bulk. I'm buying 2 of them. Will last us for months.
You're Sam's Club, not Members Mark.
I am Members Mark.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Costco.
Right, I'm a Sam's Clubber.
Right, so Costco is Kirkland brand.
Right.
Sam's Club is Members Mark.
I mean, I would be pissed if I
went to... Are you wiping your butt with Members Mark toilet paper?
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
very nice.
The purple wrapper. Yeah,
very
listen,
nice.
it's softer than you
All
think.
right.
I would be pissed if I went to a Diddy party and he had Kirkland brand lube.
You want...
What? You can't spring for the name brand?
You want Cottonelle or Charmin? Is that it?
the baby oil.
Is that what you expect at a lubed up Diddy sex party? Is a name brand toilet paper?
Name brand toilet paper, name brand baby oil, name brand lube.
Yeah.
All right. His lawyer went on to say, quote, and these are consensual adults doing what consensual adults do. We can't get so puritanical in this country to think that somehow sex is a bad thing, because if it was, there would be no more people. That's the quote from Diddy's attorney outside of the lockup on Saturday.
That's a legitimate point.
I think he's missing the big one, though.
Yeah.
That little nuance of a point is legitimate.
Sex trafficking, intimidation.
Yeah.
Come on.
Are we done with the Diddy pile?
Let me just see if there's one more. Another story that the trove of evidence against Diddy apparently is so great.
A treasure trove.
Experts are saying that he doesn't stand a chance.
I'm sure.
Hey, listen, innocent until proven guilty. When this thing goes to federal trial, if it does, maybe he takes a deal. But when this goes to federal trial, listen, the evidence is going to speak for themselves or for itself. The feds either have the goods or they don't have the goods. And when you bring a case that's this high profile, I don't think that the Southern District in New York wants a case to backfire in their face.
No, this trial is going to be even juicier, more stuff, or should we say lubier?
Who else? You're going to need the lube. Who else is going to get taken down? What other names? Well, I saw Usher deleted all of his social media posts. Too little, too late, Usher.
Yeah, numerous have.
Yeah.
And
Pink did, but I mean, she has. They're saying it has to do with crypto stuff.
We brought this up last week that a lot of celebrities with ties or contacts to Diddy have been very, very quiet. And that leads me to the last thing regarding Diddy today. This is from Fox News. Diddy's sex trafficking probe. Hollywood stars are scared to death to speak out, according to experts. And some of these names are the names we brought up last week. After Sean Diddy Combs' arrest in New York Tuesday, some of Hollywood's biggest stars have weighed in. Others, including former and current friends of Combs, have remained silent out of fear. We talked about this last week. The music mogul was charged with racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Faces a minimum of 15 years behind bars, maximum of life in prison. While high-profile case details have emerged, it's sparked responses from 50 Cent, Aubrey Day, Kesha, Mary J. Blige, and more. Others have been quiet. Others tied to Combs in the past, like Jennifer Lopez, Naomi Campbell.
Not a peep.
Ashton Kutcher, Jay-Z. None of those are speaking out. And listen, the word is that a lot of celebrities are too scared to speak out.
Yeah.
Hang on. Line what now?
What we got?
Line. All right, let me grab Joanna in Tampa on line 2. Joanna, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hello.
Hey, Joanna, welcome. You're on. Go ahead.
Hi, yeah, I lived in New York a couple of years ago, like 20, 30 years ago maybe, and I met P. Diddy and R. Kelly. They were making a video over at Smith Point Beach, and R. Kelly came out. He was introducing himself, signing posters, but P. Diddy stayed in his truck or his van or whatever they come in, and he was so rude. He was screaming at his kids. He was telling everybody, "Don't touch my van. Get away from me. Don't do anything." He was just very rude.
Well, as friendly as R. Kelly was, he kind of turned out to be a bad one, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just, whatever's happened to him belongs to happen to him, because look who he was hanging out with to begin with, and now everything that's going on, it's ridiculous.
Wow.
So,
That's some insight.
And Joanna, what were you doing at this video shoot that you ran into P. Diddy and R. Kelly? Why were you there?
Because I was young and, oh my God, P. Diddy's here. R. Kelly's here. Let's go.
Gotcha.
And me and a bunch of my friends ran down there.
And did you meet him or no?
P. Diddy, no. I met R. Kelly.
R. Kelly.
P. Diddy wouldn't come out. He just stayed in his van or whatever it was and screamed at everybody.
Did R. Kelly try to hit on you and your friends?
Kind of hit on my friend, but not me.
How old were you guys at the time?
Yeah, really.
Oh.
How old were you, Joanna, when you met R. Kelly?
Oh, God. I had to been around 18, 20.
Oh, too old.
Yeah,
Too
too
old.
old.
For R.
Yeah,
Too old for
way,
R.
way too old for R. Kelly.
R. Kelly's like, did you
My
bring your
friends were
younger sister?
They were in their teens.
Thank you, Joanna. Have a great day.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah, look at that.
So, MJ, this is what I was telling you about earlier in the show. 50 Cent said last month before the arrest that all these legal issues that Diddy's facing might have been sped up due to his lawsuit with his big alcohol company, Diageo.
Diageo?
Okay.
Is that the? I'm trying to. I know the name. I've seen the brand Diageo. So hold on. This is what? This is a conspiracy theory?
Well, this is 50 Cent's theory about these big companies that these stars work with and the power behind the alcohol industry. P. Diddy was associated with Ciroc vodka for years, and they both made a ton of money, but Diageo owned it.
Yeah.
And Diddy was only branding it. And then Diddy comes out with his own line of vodka.
Oh, they had a fallout.
His own line of
so
vodka.
wait a minute. So 50 Cent, is he suggesting that Diddy's fallout with Diageo
over Ciroc,
that maybe they helped usher, no pun intended,
right,
in some of the investigation?
How much information does this alcohol company have on this guy who likes to party with alcohol?
Yeah.
And then he goes against this company and it files a racial discrimination suit against him. And he opens up his own line called De Leon, and it never really takes off. And there's a lot of heat. And then eventually he gets dropped by this company.
And you know what? They parted ways allegedly in a settlement of racism accusations.
Yeah, because Diddy was saying that this company was trying to pigeonhole who would see advertisements for his brand, and they were labeling it an urban brand, and it made this company really upset. And all the people who owned this company.
So maybe that the alcohol company Diageo, maybe they
tipped off the feds,
or maybe they had private investigators that dug up dirt, or tipped off, maybe sped up the investigation into that is
a lot of sense.
That is quite an accusation, though.
Name an industry that has a more intimate relationship with the federal government than the alcohol industry. I mean, they know everybody.
That's a serious allegation, but I would say nothing's off the table.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Are we done with Diddy talk? Can I
Yes.
slide something in?
Don't say slide something in.
Yeah.
We just got finished talking about 1,000 bottles of lube.
Yeah, let's not talk about sliding stuff in, okay?
Let's just start fresh.
Yes.
There's no segue to get to this different thing. I want to say hello to Rocco and 3-year-old Luna.
Oh, yeah.
They listen to the MJ Morning Show.
Yeah, that's great. So talking about a little 3-year-old kid after we're talking about Diddy and sex abuse and what a great place to slide that in.
Fresh start.
Fantastic.
That's why I said fresh
just
start.
lube right up. Just slide
MJ,
it in.
Speaking of baby oil, Roxanne would like to say hello to a toddler. Go ahead, Roxanne.
You guys are terrible. I said we're fresh start. New topic. Hello, Rocco. Met him at the airport when I was leaving on Saturday. And MJ, I sent a little note to you about this. I woke up and I had this allergic reaction to something. and I had these red welts under my eyes. And I called Doug because I didn't see Doug for like 6 days last week. And I go, I'm on the way to see you. And
You guys are drifting apart.
We're
Yeah,
drifting.
they're different.
I mean, we didn't talk for 3 days. That's the first time that's happened since 2009.
Wow.
So I'm like, I'm hideous. I'm gonna come see you for the party tonight.
Don't look at me. I'm hideous.
And I had these like red welts right under. It was the weirdest thing. And so I met Rocco with the red welts. I'm sorry, Rocco. I was hideous for you too. And I'm like, so it was weird, but they went away. Here I am. I don't know what it was.
We will give away the first. I'm glad your red welts have
That was
gone
so
away.
weird. Are we saying hello to a toddler? Or are we talking about your red welts?
It's a package deal.
We're coming off of P. Diddy lube and baby oil talk, saying hi to a 3-year-old and then talking about Roxanne's red welts. All right.
Would Diddy have kicked you out of his party with those red welts?
I would not have been invited.
I have got a rice cooker to give away, a Zojirushi rice cooker, one of my favorite appliances on the planet, something that is near and dear, I cherish. And we'll give away the rice cooker during National Rice Month. We'll give away a Zojirushi. This is a phenomenal Japanese brand. They know how to cook rice, trust me. So we'll give away one rice cooker every day this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll give away the first one in just a bit. I mentioned this earlier. You can even hear you hear this? That's the crinkle window on the envelope. I got another announcement that my data was breached. Okay, I'll throw this one in the pile of 12 others that I have. Change Healthcare. I don't even know what contact did I have. I don't even know what this is. I don't even think.
What's the name of the organization?
It's Change Healthcare from West Sacramento, California. Dear Todd Schnitt, we are sorry to tell you about a privacy event. This letter is from Change Healthcare, CHC. We work with many doctors, health insurance plans, and other health companies to provide health services or benefits. This event may have involved your data. On February 21st, 2024, CHC found activity in our computer system that happened without our permission. We quickly took steps to stop that activity. We began investigating right away and hired a special team to help us. We also called law enforcement. We also turned off CHC's system to help protect our business customers and individuals. Anyway, on March 7, 2024, we learned a cyber criminal was able to see and take copies of some data in our computer system. This happened before February 17, 2024 and February 20. Anyway. So what information was involved? Health insurance data, health data such as medical records, doctors, diagnoses, medicines, test results, images, billing, insurance. Oh, great. Account numbers, billing codes, payment cards, Social Security. They have everything.
Yeah.
Every freaking thing. So, I mean, how am I still alive? I mean, how am I not destitute and broke? Because my data I have a pile of like 12, 13, 14 of these things in the last couple of years with all these damn places that couldn't keep my data secure. So now Change, I don't even know what, does it say?
Change Healthcare just moves money around.
Yeah,
they pay providers for services, and they make sure that people are getting paid between pharmacies and providers and administrators.
I can't keep track of all of the companies and a lot of healthcare where my data has been breached. And folks, you're in the same boat. Hang on, a listener's on line 7. Hi, good morning, MJ Morning Show. Who is this? Hi, good morning. Wendy?
Yeah, I call you a lot.
Okay. Well, Wendy, thank you for calling a lot. All right, Wendy, you got the same letter?
Yeah, I received it, I think, a week ago, or last week.
Right, I got mine last week. And do you know what doctor, what healthcare, what got breached? Do you have any idea?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It just says the same thing, data and all that. I mean,
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I can't narrow down like what healthcare facility, what data, what this Change Healthcare, what information they handled of mine that got breached, and what I was doing to have my data breached.
yeah, I mean, I don't even mess with my health care. I hardly ever
Yeah.
use it, to be honest.
What a
with you.
pain
I
in the
might not
ass.
even have it.
Yeah, this isn't a physical
Yeah, it
office,
is.
though.
I think it's some kind of scam. I think it's maybe if you get in touch with the people, I think they're trying to lead you to probably go to them or something.
No. It's real. No. This is a real organization. This is real. This is a big company. They handle a lot of healthcare information, data, billing.
Yeah.
They do a lot of payments. I think they handle a lot of the online payment systems. This is a real deal. It's a real breach. I'm just sick and tired of getting breached. I've got over a dozen of these letters that. I mean, I can't believe I still have a good credit score. I can't believe that I'm not evicted. With with all of these.
How are you not destitute?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Wendy.
Well, I don't know because of the doctors I was going to. The whole building closed down a month ago, so I have to. I don't have any doctors at this.
The
site.
whole building closed. What was it? Legionnaires' disease? What happened?
I don't know. I mean, they're probably going to make it into a freaking condo. I don't know. It's a place on McMullen Booth in Clearwater, the diagnostic center.
All right.
So, my
The doctors disappeared.
All of them.
It was like an alien abduction. The whole building disappeared.
I think they got abducted and got probed and got sent somewhere else. I don't know what the hell happened.
Wendy, thanks for the call. Have a great day. Call again. All right, Andrew wants me to take line 2 now. Hi, MJ Morning Show. Who's this?
Rebecca.
Oh, hey, Rebecca. Welcome to the MJ Morning Show. What do you know about this data breach?
Excuse me. Well, unfortunately, United Health Group bought them, Change Healthcare, and in the middle of the changing of it, that huge ransomware group
Yeah.
came in. And it was $11 million. And if you go, you can see that Congress pulled in Whitty to talk about the whole thing, and they're kind of making an example of that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it was very, 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 very huge, and it's only one of, I think there's other 4 or 5 companies got ransomware like that. But they're getting berated now because they paid the money, and then they're like going back and looking at their security systems, making sure I don't think we're ever going to be able to cure this security breach.
It's a giant mess. Rebecca, it is nuts out there. The companies that can't keep their door locked and they're allowing all of these breaches into the systems, exposing our data. I've been able to join I think 8 or 9 class action lawsuits now for data breaches. And if I would have joined the class, my total haul would have been about $4 at this point. So, I mean, it's not even worth it. All right. Thanks for the call, Rebecca. All right. So, great. Hold on. Andrew wants me to take one more, and then we're going to call Dennis Phillips. Dennis Phillips from ABC Action News is standing by. Let me grab Gio. Gio, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning, MJ. How you doing?
Doing well. Go ahead.
Well, I'm an IT person for the past 25 years. I do IT security for major organizations, and I've done IT for healthcare organizations, exactly what you're talking about with this breach. And I got to say, one of the things that we say in the industry is not when you're going to get breached or how, it's how often.
Well, tell me. It's very often for me. I'll tell you that right now.
Absolutely. The U.S. healthcare system is something like the 6th largest economy on earth compared to other countries. And the amount of value in healthcare data is extremely high because they'll pump your insurance. They'll present themselves as a fake doctor. Once they have the FTPs and the way to be able to deliver, the scam into the system, they can just pump somebody for years potentially, and the insurance companies aren't even aware.
It's unbelievable. Thank you. So I'm waiting for my next notification of breach. I'm now up to number 12, 13, or 14. I'm waiting for 15, 16, and 17.
There's only one way to combat this. When you fill out forms.
Yeah, flamethrower.
Yeah. When you fill out online forms, lie about everything. Lie about your information. Then there's misinformation about you. Then the hackers don't know what's true. They don't know if I'm Roxanne born in 1994 or if I'm a different information.
Do you know what that signifies?
What?
This signifies a weather alert. We got to call Dennis Phillips now because of this little system. Hey, you want to get the real deal? Let's go to rule number 7, man himself. Let me get Dennis Phillips on the line. He said he was available to take our call. Let me dial him up right now. 727. Let's go straight to the horse's mouth. So we got a system that's going to head toward Florida. Let's find it. It's been jogging a little more to the east.
What's up?
Good morning, Dennis Phillips, Mr. Suspenders, Chief Meteorologist, ABC Action News. Dennis, welcome back to the MJ Morning Show.
How goes it, guys?
Well, listen, I've been following all of your Instagram posts all weekend. Our listeners are on the edge of their seats right now. What is this system? Is it going to be a tropical storm? Is it going to be a hurricane? Where the hell's it going?
First of all, I want to ask Roxanne about her mom's cruise.
I have to tell you guys, Dennis is so sweet.
Yeah.
My mom texted all of us on our family chain over the weekend, last weekend, and was like, I've been messaging with Dennis Phillips because she reached out to him, was like, we're going on a cruise. What's the weather going to be like? And you got right back to her. That means so much. And you didn't know that was my mom, you know. You're so good with your fans.
But Dennis also says, I don't know if your Disney plans are going to be canceled. I don't know if your cruise is going to be canceled. I don't know if your flight is going to be canceled on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Dennis,
it was a good cruise.
What do we need to know?
Your question,
Dennis was talking to Roxanne's mom with that angry Facebook post. I don't know, ma'am.
Well, those posts aren't too angry. Those are more like just to give a little bit of levity.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, there are, the longer that you track this with lack of sleep, the less tolerance you have for stupid comments and posts.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, those can get a little terse at times. So I've actually even had to go in and use the ban button once or twice just because I'm like, I'm not going to put up with this because there are some pot stirs, if you will, and I respect that. I don't mind pot stirs, but when people start to get a little nervous about stuff and they're just scoffing, you guys don't know what you're talking about. It's not going to be anything.
Hold on, Dennis. Hold on. I'm looking at your post on Facebook from 17 hours ago, and if you read it with a tone, you sound pissed.
Yeah.
Listen to this. It's update. I still, in all caps, don't know if your flight will be canceled, your Disney trip will be ruined, your cruise will be scratched, or you'll be able to walk your dog at 4:23 Thursday afternoon. But I promise. I mean, that tone sounds
funny
angry.
that you read it that way. That is funny that you read it that way because I honestly, the voice in my head when I wrote it was, I kind of like. I like the
theatrics.
The tone of this. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Let me call up that page.
I mean, 17 hours ago, you wrote "still" in all caps. That means yelling.
No, I can hear it like a meandering tone, like a still don't know.
I don't hear yelling and anger. I just hear.
He's about to blow.
I hear matter of fact.
He's going to explode on these stupid questions.
I'm trying to. My computer.
That's all right.
I was going to read
Yeah,
it
let's
to
do
you
a
actually the way
reenactment.
that I intended it, but. Actually, I hope I didn't lose that. Okay, yeah, because I'm right in the middle of getting ready to post another lengthy post, another long-winded post.
All right, can you give us some details? So, tell us, where is the system now? Where's it headed? To the best of the computer model guesses, what can we expect? We've had a very quiet season for the most part. What can we expect?
All right, so. Landfall, okay, well, first of all, we'll go one step at a time here. There's still no defined center. So all the computer models, all the spaghetti runs that you see, those are all based on an estimated center of where that they believe that storm is going to form and where it's going to go. If that center forms 50 miles to the east, then the track will be 50 miles to the east.
And right now, this thing is kind of sitting off Honduras, right?
Yeah.
It's like right on the Honduras-Nicaragua border, out in the Caribbean.
Yeah, and for something that is still pretty ill-defined, there's a surprisingly large agreement with the majority of the models. I mean, not one. There's one out there. I'm about to post this. And I showed it last night. There's like a ton of them that are all together in one cluster, and then there's just one little spot that beelines right to Tampa, and it's like literally a fish out of water when you look at it. And that is obviously not what we're thinking right now. But yeah, I mean, the track now into, the Panhandle, reasonably anywhere from the Big Bend to Apalachicola, and that's such a common spot for these kind of tracks. I mean, you look at history over the last 100 years, and late September, early October, normally these storms are inclined to go in that general direction with a curve to the right as it gets a little closer.
What do the models say, Dennis, as far as intensity? What do we know about that? Is it going to be a tropical storm? Is it going to be a hurricane? What do we think?
Yeah, that's the big question mark, and that's something we just can't answer. There are models that go as strong as Cat 4.
Oh, God.
No, yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, now those would probably be more likely north because they would have more time over water, and the water's super warm. Now they may run into a little bit of shear at the end, but the Euro is showing a strong tropical storm, minimal hurricane. The GFS is blowing it up into a Cat 4, Cat 3 or 4, more in the Big Bend area. But again, that is probably something we're not going to be able to answer for another day and a half. Timing is late Thursday into Friday for landfall. If it's more north, if it's more Big Bend, it might be closer to earlier on Thursday. Impacts for our area, for the Bay Area, tropical storm force winds arrive on Wednesday. Normally with a storm like this, hurricane force winds might extend 50, 60 miles out from the center. If it's a larger storm, maybe as much as 80. Right now, the current track is forecast to stay at or slightly over 100 miles offshore. So just do the basic math, obviously. If that's the way that it goes based on the current track, the hurricane force winds, sustained hurricane force winds, would stay offshore. We'll still be dealing with some surge. We'll still be dealing with some heavy rain. The fact that it's a much faster moving storm than Debbie is a good thing, which means it won't have as much time to dump as much rain on our area as it did with Debbie. But for the people who say, no, this is going to be a hurricane. This is going to turn into a hurricane. It's going to impact the Bay Area. At this point, the thinking is the worst will stay offshore. But until we have that center, until we actually have a center that forms, and I use that old expression with those whack-a-mole games, the little centers are popping up all over the place. And then, one finally forms, and then that's when the models can hinge everything on. And the forecast at that point gets really easy. I mean, there's not a lot of question mark in what the upper level winds are going to be doing anymore. It's just a matter of where that center actually forms. And that's why the spaghetti lines are so tightly clustered.
Well, I know one thing. We're going to be talking to Dennis every freaking day this week in the morning. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And, I hope this doesn't impact us. By hoping.
Impact us.
Say it again?
It's going to impact us.
Right. However, we're talking about hopefully the periphery and nothing direct.
Right. I agree. Yeah, and right now that is the forecast. Right now we are on the perimeter of the heavier stuff. If the hurricane hunters are flying in later today and find a center forming 75 miles more to the east, then that's another story.
All right, so Dennis, you think we need to find the center? We'll see a center in the next day and a half?
Yeah, I think in the next 24 to 36 hours.
Okay.
It's going to continue to move north, but it's still disorganized, right? So it isn't like it's just going to sit there and wait for development. It is going to be moving the whole time, and it's going to start to accelerate even more so by Wednesday night, and Thursday. This should be gone by Friday morning from Florida. I mean, it should be moved into Georgia by then. So, but in terms of our impact, I would expect tropical storm watches to be put into effect probably tomorrow morning. Maybe a hurricane watch, maybe. I mean, it depends on, if it gets stronger, like, if it's a Cat 3 or 4 eventually down the road, then maybe we could see some hurricane force winds right along the coast. Again, based on where this ends up going, how strong it gets. But I would expect we're going to be in tropical storm watches tomorrow, tropical storm warnings on Wednesday. If everything plays out the way that we're thinking. I would think there wouldn't be school definitely on Thursday, potentially on Wednesday.
So we might not have school locally on Thursday?
If the track goes as it looks like it will, I would guess that we would have sustained tropical storm force winds Wednesday night and into Thursday.
Do you think we'll ever get to a hurricane watch on the West Coast?
Possibility. It's a possibility. If right now, if the track verifies Apalachicola, probably not. Although we're close. I mean, it's kind of like New Orleans with the last storm that just came in, and they had sustained winds of 60. They had a couple of gusts of 75 or 77. And there were all these people, a lot of meteorologists, surprisingly, who were like, "Why didn't we get a hurricane warning? We had hurricane winds." Well, no, actually, we didn't. Hurricane winds are sustained winds of greater than 74 miles an hour. You had a gust or two. And I think we probably would be in that kind of ballpark based on, again, the current track. But that track is absolutely positively not set in stone. And if it's 50 miles more to the east than our winds, now, granted, they wouldn't be the high. Here's something else to remember. When you hear those winds, maximum sustained winds or 90 miles an hour or whatever, that's in a very, very small area. That isn't the whole thing. That's in a really small area near the center. So the overwhelming majority of the people will not get those winds that you hear on TV or see, on social media. That is a really, really small area. So if maximum sustained winds were 110 miles an hour, that's probably 5 to 10 miles away from the center. And if that center is 100 miles, 80 miles, 70 miles offshore, we're not even going to sniff.
Nothing close, yeah.
Right.
All right, Dennis. So I guess bottom line is, I'm sure I'm going to be talking to you later. We'll have you on the air tomorrow morning. What time do you think you might be available for us tomorrow morning?
Man, I don't know. I mean, I try to get a nap or two from time to time. Let's play it by ear. I'll definitely be around.
Okay, all right. Well, so we'll listen. I think we're going to be talking to you every single day this week. Yes, but for those that are like, wait a sec, where's this coming from? Hey, surprise, folks, we've had a quiet season for the most part, but, things generally heat up in September and October for the Tampa Bay area, and we got a system with a high likelihood to become a hurricane and head toward Florida. Right now, models are putting it more up toward Big Bend or Apalachicola, but we're not out of the woods, and we got to watch this thing.
100%. That is right on the money. And by the way, the tone that we talked about earlier, update. I still don't know if your flight will be canceled, your Disney trip will be ruined, your cruise will be scratched, or you'll be able to walk your dog at 4:23 Thursday afternoon. But I promise, when I figure it out, you'll be the first to know. That's the tone.
That's a fact.
That was intended.
Instead of Fester yelling
I don't
that.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, he sounded frustrated.
Dennis Phillips, ABC Action News, chief meteorologist. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, Dennis.
All right, bye.
Always plenty of time for us. It's, great information. He just has a way of, delivering the information that cuts through. He's not an alarmist. His rule number 7 is don't freak out until he freaks out. That's rule number 7.
Yeah.
But, so there are folks saying, what, where'd this come from? Hello, surprise, wake up. We're going to have a hurricane most likely heading toward Florida. It is sitting just off shore in Central America, Central America right now. It's essentially positioned near Honduras right now, over in the Western Caribbean, heading toward the middle of the Gulf. So, again, watch the models, listen to us, pay attention. And obviously, the closer we get to Florida geography, the models are going to obviously come into agreement, and we'll have a better idea of where this thing's heading. But we're going to have effects. Hopefully the effects are not severe here in the Tampa Bay area. That's the bottom line. All right, quickly on what time is it? 8:52. 8:52 at the MJ Morning Show. All right, Buccaneers lost. We mentioned this earlier in the show. What a bad day for the Buccaneers. They didn't look good. The Buccaneers had that cockiness slap right off their faces yesterday. Denver Broncos roll in. We lost 26-7. We looked awful. Nothing went right for the Bucs. We had no, rushing sucked. We had no running game. Baker Mayfield got sacked 39 times. All right, 7.
Yeah, it was a poor performance.
But it was just not good. So I think with a 2-0 record, they got into this Denver thing. Oh, they're Denver. They suck. They're coming from out of town. They're coming to our house.
It was 95 degrees. People were melting in the stands, and a team from the mountains came and slaughtered them.
And cleaned their clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Eagles are in next Sunday, but a really terrible loss. So 3-0 was a no-go for the Bucs. We're now 1-2.
No, 2-1.
I'm sorry. What I say?
2 wins, 1 loss.
I'm sorry. We're now
Other way around.
Thank you. We're now 2-1. Thank you. Sorry, I apologize. So 2 wins, 1 loss, and that Broncos was supposed to be a win. So there you have it. That is our complete Bucs coverage here.
That was thick.
That was our complete Bucs coverage here on the MJ Morning Show. All right, let's give away the rice cooker right now. Let's go with caller number 105. Caller 105 right now. You'll win a Zojirushi rice cooker. It's National Rice Month, September. Caller 105, you will win the first Zojirushi rice cooker. Good luck from the MJ Morning Show. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Good luck from the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. If your carpets look horrific, don't... Let me grab line 3 here. Good morning, MJ Morning Show. Who's this?
This is Leslie.
Leslie, where are you calling from?
St. Pete.
Leslie, have you heard me talk about these phenomenal Zojirushi rice cookers?
I have heard you talk about the rice cookers. Yes, my son is so excited. He wants the rice cooker so bad.
One of my favorite appliances ever in the history of mankind. That's how much I love these things. It is a life changer for me, and hopefully it will be for you and your son. Your caller 105, you got a rice cooker. You're it.
Thank you. He's so excited.
How old's your son?
He's 18. He's been begging for a rice cooker since last year.
Well, there we go. You're going to get one of the Zojirushis. You're the first winner. National Rice Month. And, folks are like saying, hey, morning show, give it away rice cooker. Yes! It's like Oprah. It's like Oprah's favorite things. This rice cooker, whoever I turn on to these things, they swear by these rice cookers. And it's like, MJ, you're right. And you've got number one. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're so excited. Thank you.
All right. You guys can pick this thing up today if you want, I would imagine.
We're right down the street. We will.
All right. Hold on a sec. I'm going to put you on hold. Andrew's going to get all of your information, okay?
Yes. Thank you so much.
All right, look at that. All right, happy first customer trying to win this rice cooker, and they got it. All right, we'll give away another one tomorrow morning. I'll give away one on Wednesday, give away one on Thursday, give away another one on Friday. Hopefully this storm, this hurricane will stay away. Might be giving away generators.
In the middle of storm coverage.
We need that.
By the way.
Cans of gasoline, cases of water. Rice cookers are great during storms. All right, you got the MJ Morning Show on Q105 WRBQ HD1 Tampa, Beasley Media Group Station. And, of course, we're transmitting from the Kemp Law Group Studios right here in lovely St. Petersburg. All right, I've got the weekend just piled me up with just a ridiculous amount of stuff. So I got to try to, economize during our final hour here on the MJ Morning Show. Oh, speaking of the Bucs and the Bucs' horrific loss, Bucs are now 2-1. They should have been 3-0. Listen, the Bucs' defensive line, they have injuries and all kinds of stuff going on, so that's going to hurt, obviously. But the quarterback for the Broncos is a newbie. The guy just showed up 2 hours ago, and he looked fantastic yesterday because the Bucs look so bad.
He's a pretty good quarterback, but he's a rookie. Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Bo Nix. I think that's the shortest name in the history of the NFL.
Oh, speaking of football, this is really a good story. Did you watch any of the Thursday night game? Anyone watch the Chiefs?
No, I was on the ship.
Okay, the Chiefs, that was a Sunday night game.
What'd I say?
You're talking about you said Thursday.
What I
You
did
talking
I say?
about last night's game?
No, last night's game. What did I say?
You said Thursday.
All right, I'm
Sunday Night Football.
Why did I say Thursday?
Thursday Night Football at night on Thursday.
I have no idea. Anyway, so last night, I meant to NBC's game last night.
Sunday night, it was the Atlanta Falcons hosting the Kansas City
The
Chiefs.
late game last night was the Chiefs and the Atlanta Falcons. And the reason why I'm bringing up this game is, first of all, the Atlanta Falcons look really good in the beginning. Listen, I'm not a sports expert. I am not bringing up this for the sports facet here. You don't come here for in-depth analysis on NFL football. But let me tell you what I am going to mention is that one of the players for the Kansas City Chiefs, who's the dude that's hurt? One of the big Chiefs players is out. What's his name?
What's his name? His name is what's his name?
Yeah, what's his name? We'll go. What's his face?
Professor, look it up. So the player that took his place is Carson Steele. Carson Steele had a pretty good game for the Chiefs yesterday.
The fullback with the long blonde hair.
Yeah, the long blonde haired guy.
Yeah.
He's in for who's the Chiefs star that's out with an injury for like weeks and weeks and weeks.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, I forgot his name. So this Carson Steele guy,
Pacheco.
Yeah, Pacheco. Thank you. It's Isaiah Pacheco.
Yep.
That's him. So Carson Steele is in for Pacheco, and it was his first NFL start yesterday. He missed his sister's wedding, I think, in Indiana, because he had to be at the Chiefs game. His sister's wedding, they booked the venue a year and a half ago. They did the save the date thing a year and a half ago. The venue was only available in their time frame last night, Sunday night, the 22nd of September, 2024. So this Carson Steele in for Pacheco, who's injured on the Kansas City Chiefs. He couldn't be at his sister's wedding where he was supposed to be a groomsman.
I guess, is he a rookie?
Yeah.
So last year, he did not know that he would be on an NFL roster.
No idea.
But he knew when he made the team, there was no way in hell he's going to get a day off.
They don't give you those.
Yeah, so he couldn't be at his sister's wedding last night because he had to play for the Chiefs against the Falcons.
But this is his first start. His family probably he's not going to play anyway.
His first NFL start, and he's in for Pacheco, and he actually had some good plays. He actually did very well. And at the wedding, the family videoed the wedding goers at the reception watching a big screen TV.
Oh, yeah.
And they were cheering, and they sent a video to NBC, and NBC last night showed some of the video from the wedding where they were watching the game on NBC at the reception.
That's pretty cool.
And I think this Carson guy has a pet alligator, too. If I'm seriously.
Oh, does he really?
I think he's got a pet gator.
That's allowed?
Yeah, I saw a picture of him holding up a gator.
I don't think that's a very good pet.
He's a quirky guy.
I don't think that's a very good idea. Anyway, I just thought that was a great story. Then I saw this. Channel 8 had this story. Regina Schimmeyer wanted to do something very nice for her husband, his name Michael, and it was his birthday coming up. In May, she paid more than $1,200 for 2 tickets and a parking pass through StubHub for this weekend's game with the Buccaneers and the Denver Broncos. Apparently, her husband's a big, long-time Broncos fan. So with the Broncos coming to town, knowing the NFL schedule, she went to StubHub and bought tickets for the game yesterday at Ray J, where the Broncos came in and beat the Bucs' butts.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
She says, my husband is an amazing person. He goes out of his way to make sure my needs are met, to make sure that I'm always happy, and I just felt like this was something special that I wanted to do for him, to show him how much I loved him and how important he was to me. Club level seats, section 210, with food and beverages. In June, she got an email that said the tickets were ready to be downloaded, but when she tried, she received an error that the tickets had been removed. She said she spent hours on the phone with StubHub. At first, she was told that they were contacting the seller and escalating the issue, then told the seller wasn't responding. Now she says that she's being told nothing can be done until Sunday, the day of the game.
Where do they live? Do they live locally?
I don't know exactly where they live.
I mean, a lot of people travel from far away to go to these big NFL games.
Then Shannon Bankin reached out to StubHub, and Shannon Bankin, from Better Call Bankin from Channel 8, she was told that they would look into it. After Better Call Bankin got involved, Schimmeyer said a representative from the escalation department. It's better than the escalator department over at StubHub.
Thank you for calling escalators.
They called and they issued a refund for her parking pass and said she's going to meet with the leadership team about a refund for the tickets. Hold on. Wait a minute. Issued a refund for the parking pass? You want a refund for the tickets?
All right, here's your $40 back for parking.
$1,200 for the freaking tickets for club level seats.
Wow.
All right, so I don't know. Let me call Bankin. Let me see if Better Call Bankin.
Let's get into the bottom of it.
Yeah, let me see if Bankin will pick up the phone.
Does she know you're calling her?
No, she has no idea.
Okay.
I'm cold calling. And listen, it's Better Call Bankin. I better call Bankin right now.
Better do it.
Yeah, Better Call Bankin. Let me find her.
Bankin better not be in the bathroom.
All right, Shannon Bankin. Let me see. All right. 813. All right, I'm calling Bankin right now. Andrew, do me a favor. Pick up line 5 and see if Bankin is available to speak with the MJ Morning Show to see if there's any update. Why the hell would StubHub say I went right to voicemail? All right, hang on. Let me
try again.
Let me try again. Hang on a minute. Pick up line. I just picked up another line. Pick up that line. 813. Is your phone fixed over there, Fester?
Nope.
Why don't we get that damn phone fixed?
Because it's fried.
All right, it's ringing now. Andrew, pick up line 3. Andrew. Andrew.
Hey.
Andrew. Thank you. He's sitting there talking. Oh, what, the voicemail again? All right, well, I better call Bankin. I'm getting voicemail. I just want to know what the update is on that.
Yeah, Section 210 is like the best seats in the stadium.
Yeah,
Right there at the
that
50-yard
sucks.
line,
Husband's
on the left
birthday,
side.
and you want to do something nice?
Yeah.
I mean,
and then what's up with, oh, yeah, we'll refund your parking. Really?
That's weird.
I mean, that kind of sucks. She should have had, everything refunded, and then she could have bought some tickets probably game day. Or, StubHub should have made it good for her.
Instantly.
What does that say about StubHub's customer service?
Sketchy.
That sounds like it sucks. It sounds like
really
StubHub
does.
is like some kind of fly-by-night dumpster operation. I mean, for her to buy tickets through StubHub, and they're not rushing to her rescue
months ago.
Is StubHub crappy?
They seem like a big, legit company.
It is. It's one of the biggest out there of the ticket resale operations. That sucks. I just don't know if she made it to the game with her husband. Lifelong Broncos fan. It would have been a good day for him as the Broncos. Oh, did you see me make the ice cream, Fester?
I tell you, man, you are the last person I want to tailgate with and the only person I want to tailgate with when you make that ice cream. That is the best looking ice cream I've seen maybe ever.
Dude, I made oh, wait a sec. Billy Howard, the consumer protection lawyer?
Yeah, of course.
He said, better call Billy.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Billy pick up his phone.
Billy Howard said, better call Billy. I'll get her money back. That's great.
Billy will take StubHub down.
Plus damages. I'll call Billy here in a second. Billy Howard, the consumer protection lawyer locally here in Tampa Bay. But Fester, you saw me make that ice cream?
I did. And the way you drizzled it was very erotic.
You like my drizzle?
Mm.
All right, so over the weekend, I made 3 flavors. I made my unbelievable dark chocolate, Valrhona cocoa, Calabout Callets with dark chocolate. I made my vanilla bean. Oh, God, fantastic. And then I made mint chocolate chip. So I made 3 flavors. I had not made my ice cream in months. I think it's been 5 or 6 months since I last made ice cream. And I was a little fearful. Oh, my God, am I still going to remember? Every single flavor came out unbelievably. My flavors are just, you know who wants to have me buy? Small Batch Creamery. You know Alfred down the street here?
Mm-hmm.
Great ice cream shop on 4th Street in St. Pete. Right around, was it 54th or so? Right,
somewhere around there.
Yeah, right around 54th and 4th Street in St. Pete is Small Batch Creamery, and Alfred is the owner there. And Alfred's a really nice guy. He does a phenomenal job with all of his ice cream is made right on premises. He was talking about having me in to do a special where I make one of my flavors in their kitchen and then feature it like during a week.
How fun.
Yeah, so I think I might want to do that.
Would it have nuts in it?
No, I don't like nuts in ice cream.
Okay, it's all right.
I don't
Okay.
either.
I mean,
Yeah.
if it's your flavor, I mean,
Yeah.
you're kind of a nut.
So anyway, during the Bucks beatdown, I was making my mint chocolate chip, and the video, if you haven't seen it, the video is on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio, and I'm just showing my technique for bring up the audio, refresh and bring up the audio. I'll play the audio from my Instagram. Go ahead and hit it. Go. While the Bucks are getting their butts beaten by the Broncos, I'm making some mint chocolate chip ice cream. Chloe, come on in here. I've got Callebaut dark chocolate, Belgian Callets. I've melted. I put it in a Ziploc bag. I cut a little bitty corner out with a razor blade, and then I drizzle it in. Look at that. You drizzle it so you don't get big, giant chunks of chocolate chips that get all jammed in your mouth like boulders in your teeth. Look at this. Does that look incredible or what? Yeah, the ice cream looks, and it tastes phenomenal. Every single one of my flavors are to die for over the weekend. And if you want to see me make mint chocolate chip, Bucks are on TV getting their butts beaten by the Broncos.
That was a lot of alliteration right there.
Yeah.
Bucks butts beaten by Broncos.
Yeah. And I'm making delicious mint chocolate chip
Yum.
ice cream. I don't like the big giant chips. I like the flecks or the specks. And I put it in the Ziploc bag, and I just take a little bitty corner off the bag with a razor blade, and it's just a thin drizzle comes out. It comes out phenomenally.
Did you suck it?
What?
The piping bag of chocolate after you squeezed it all out? Did you?
No, I tossed it. I'm not sucking out of the bag.
What? You don't suck
Anyway,
a bag? I'll suck a bag of chocolate.
Go take a look at the video. It's on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. That is Certified MJ Radio.
I had some shave ice this weekend that was really good. Oh, excuse me. Hawaii. How do you say it? Hawaii shave ice.
Hawaiian shave ice.
Yeah.
Where'd you have
Hawaii.
Where'd you have Hawaiian shave ice?
In the Bahamas.
And was it a block shaver, or did they put ice cubes in?
I just ordered it.
You
and
have no idea.
No, I was looking at the beautiful ocean. I said, I'll have a poke bowl and shave ice.
What kind of? You didn't see the process of the making of the shave ice?
I don't want to know how my food is cooked. I just want to get a good product and enjoy it.
I've told you this. You cannot have good Hawaiian shave ice if they're using ice cubes. You got to have the block that gets spun around and shaved.
You know what? I'm going to call Bahamar right now, Bahamar, however you say it, and find out what they use.
No. Get back to us.
That would be fantastic. Hey, Fester, you sent me a story about the slap fighting.
Dude, you know these are my favorite videos. You've caught me watching them here in the show.
You know, there was a horrible story at Citrus Park Mall. Locally.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't that like a week ago?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with slap fighting?
Terrible, but because it was a slap fight at Citrus Park Mall, and then it turned into a real fight and then a gun battle. And then you had a 15-year-old kid that was shot.
I think a 15-year-old was a shooter and a 16-year-old was killed.
15-year-old boy was arrested, and then a 16-year-old, a 16-year-old kid was killed. This is a Channel 28 story. Hillsborough County deputies arrested a 15-year-old boy for his role in a deadly shooting outside Citrus Park Town Center Mall. Detectives say they determined a fight between two groups of teenage boys occurred following a planned slapboxing event. And then, unrelated, Fester sends me another story. God, slapboxing? This is where you just stand across from each other and you slap each other in the side of the head?
All right. Much like backyard wrestling, which I don't condone. I don't condone mall slap fights. However, the professional slap fights, when they're on stage and there's like a referee, That's pretty intriguing stuff.
Is this becoming a real sport?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if it's becoming a real sport.
Is it televised? Is it just on like YouTube videos?
I know it's online. I've only seen it online. Like I haven't seen it like on ESPN, The Ocho, or anything like that, where they play, occasionally really off the wall sports. But these slap fighting videos, I can't get enough of them, especially the women. Oh,
yeah. I saw a female slap fight where a pretty significantly large woman slapped another woman in the side of the face, and she was knocked into next freaking month. That was rough. So you like the female slap fights?
I mean, I like them all, but yeah. I mean, look at this guy. He got sent into the next state. He's out of it.
Well, but a lot of times they get smacked in the ear, and it causes like ruptured eardrums and like hearing damage.
I mean, this guy has cotton in his ear. Looks like he's had a couple of ear injuries in the past. But he got knocked out with one slap. Nothing he could do.
9:20 at the MJ Morning Show. A couple of Hollywood or celebrity items here. If you're looking for a celebrity house to purchase out in Hollywood, Jim Carrey's house has just taken its 5th price cut. So Jim Carrey's house, he's trying to sell the damn thing. He can't. They've just knocked the price down for the 5th time. You know what Jim said?
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then. Yeah, I'd be okay. I know.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then. That's the good one.
Yeah, that's the better one.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, that's the one I needed. You didn't even need to put number 2 up there, Andrew.
It's like he said the first one, like in an interview. Is that from the movie?
Alrighty then.
What is that one from?
Maybe it's from the movie.
Alrighty then.
Yeah,
Is it from-
just erase that one.
He probably said it like 10 times during the movie.
Number 2, we don't even need. Yeah, number 1's the only one we need.
Alrighty then.
There you go. You know he's 62 years old now?
He's been a star for a long time.
I know. Jim Carrey. I mean, where's the time going? Jim Carrey's home. He's 62 years old. The price has now been slashed to $19.75 million, down from the original $28.9 million. So it's been cut $9.15 million over the course of nearly 2 years.
That's a series of unfortunate events.
Can I say?
Yeah.
The house looks awful.
It's not a particularly good-looking house.
Does it have all his wacky artwork throughout?
There's art all over the place, which the art you can come down. Just the $19 million. This is really.
Oh, look how colorful it is. It's like he took stuff from the set of Grinch. And some of it.
Well, he's an avid painter. I mean, a lot of it's his own work, but I don't know. For a $19 million house, it's.
Yeah, I think that's pretty overpriced.
It's not that spectacular, Jim. You have to find a big fan to want to buy this one. I don't know.
Put some of his memorabilia in there from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. And
maybe the price will go up.
Part of the problem might be when they're showing the house, Jim pops out of the closet.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Guys! That's while they're showing the house. That's Jim.
Dude, I watched Dumb and Dumber with the kids a couple of weeks ago. That movie holds up at every place.
Dumb and Dumber?
It is great. The kids were riveted, laughing out loud. That's
fantastic.
right.
All right, I got a couple other pieces of Hollywood dirt we got to get to, or Hollywood stuff, involving a TV show that's been off the air for a long time that was a big hit that might be coming back. And what the hell is Kim Kardashian doing? Guess who Kim Kardashian visited in jail? In prison. I'll fill you in on that in just a couple of minutes. And then, of course, it's the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show on a Monday next. So there's all kinds of stuff I got to jam in that I don't want to leave on the table. That's good. Yeah, we don't put like all the bad stuff. We don't put all the bad junk in the final segment. A-list materials next. Also, if you're a Rocky Horror Picture Show fan, we've got tickets for Rocky Horror. Why? Because big anniversary. 49th anniversary tour. Rocky Horror is going to be at the Mahaffey. And we've got tickets. Also, one of the original cast members is going to be at the event that you can meet. So if you want to see Rocky Horror coming up on October 3rd at Mahaffey. We got some free tickets before the end of the show here on Q105, MJ Morning Show. Stand by. All right, back in. right, it has arrived, the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show on a Monday as we launch the brand new week. Obviously, we have eyes on this tropical system headed toward Florida. We had Dennis Phillips on about an hour ago, spent a lot of time with us, and we're going to be talking to Dennis all week. We should, in the next day and a half, have a much better idea of where it's headed. The models now have this turning into a hurricane and heading into the Big Bend, Apalachicola area. So potentially 100 miles or so offshore from the Tampa Bay area, off of, the Pinellas County beaches, Clearwater, St. Pete. So hopefully it does stay 100 plus miles offshore. We will have some effects, but again, it's still early. The models are saying one thing, but we've seen models change. We're going to have a much better idea on this tropical system, which is expected to turn into a hurricane and affect the state of Florida Thursday or Friday later this week. So here we go, folks. I mean, we've had a slow season for the most part, but, you can't get complacent, and we are in the busiest time historically for us, which is mid to late September and October. These are the months that we always need to be weary of here on the west coast of Florida. So heads up, we will have Dennis Phillips on every single day this week. Yes, Fester.
That's great.
What's great?
I'm a big DP fan. So
yeah, most people are Dennis Phillips.
I don't know anybody. Yeah. I don't know anybody who's not.
A couple of Hollywood things I wanted to get to. Why is Kim Kardashian visiting Eric and Lyle Menendez, the parent murderers, in prison?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good question.
All right. So did Kim get her law license? I remember she was studying for the bar.
She did. She did. She was studying for the bar.
She was trying to do some avenue where you don't need to go to law school and get a law degree in order to become a lawyer.
She saw Legally Blonde, and she was inspired by Elle Woods.
But Elle Woods went to Harvard.
She did.
Hi, it's me, Kim Kardashian, Your Honor. Yeah. Come on, God. Judge would hold her in contempt if she just opened her mouth and spoke.
All right, so look at Google suggestions.
Yeah.
I wrote, did Kim Kardashian? And of all the things she's done in her life, the first thing that popped up is pass the bar.
I don't think she did. I know she was...
is there a baby bar exam?
I don't know. From 2023, did she? Oh,
it says she didn't after her first attempt.
This story claims that she passed the baby bar.
I don't know what that
on her
is.
4th try.
She failed the baby bar 3 times, then passed?
On her 4th attempt?
So is she a lawyer?
I don't.
Do you need to go to law school to be a lawyer?
That's what I'm saying, that in California, at least, I guess there was some avenue where you didn't need to go to law school, get a law degree in order to pass the bar and become some type of a lawyer. Anyway, Kim Kardashian and Cooper, is it Koch or Koch? Star of Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, reportedly paid a visit this weekend to convicted murderers Eric and Lyle Menendez, along with other prisoners at the San Diego County Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility.
All right, hold on. Did they go to visit prisoners or did they go to see the Menendez brothers?
No, they went to see the Menendez brothers, I think.
Because you said and other prisoners.
Well, because Kim Kardashian, along with this Cooper dude, who's a star of Monsters, there's that program out. There's a new Netflix thing about the Menendez brothers.
With a creepy scene.
Yesterday, Eric Menendez's wife, Tammy, those sicko creepos that want to marry like murderers in prison. Well, who does that? It's like Charles Manson having like women like throwing themselves at him via mail or, wanting to visit him. And I want to get married to Charlie Manson. I mean, who are these sicko women that flock to these mass murderers and these dregs of society? What is the allure? What is the attraction?
They've given up on the Gen Pop dating pool.
Yeah, I guess so.
Only want guys in solitary.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Eric Menendez's wife, Tammy, posted a statement on social media describing Ryan Murphy's Netflix series Monsters as dishonest and disheartening slander. Okay, yeah. All kinds of slander. You got a story on the two brothers that bought a shotgun at a sporting goods store in Beverly Hills and blasted their parents back in what? Was it late 80s? Like what, 80 something?
Yeah.
Let me look it up.
88? 89? When did they do that? I think it was 80. It was late 80s, like 88 or 89 when the Menendez murders happened. His father was or their father was like his big it was 89. The father was a big TV executive. I mean, they lived in a fancy schmancy multi-million-dollar home in Beverly Hills. And Eric and Lyle shotgunned their parents. Suppose a gruesome, grisly scene. Yeah, according to TMZ, Kardashian was joined by her sister, Khloe Kardashian. You know what? The Kardashians showing up at prison and having them speak, probably worse than any kind of torture, any kind of...
Seriously, what's worse?
The Kardashians.
I got life in prison, and now I'm going to have to listen to these two?
Exactly.
Oh. Somebody.
Would you rather be put in the hole or listen to the Kardashians speak for 5 minutes?
Oh, that's a tough one.
It is.
I'll take a shower with the slipperiest soap.
Yeah, so Kim Kardashian was with Khloe, her mother, Kris Jenner, and film producer Scott Budnick, along with this Cooper Koch guy. He plays Eric Menendez.
Why? I mean...
Yeah. Well,
what's the point?
Well, I'm going to tell you. Kardashian's a longtime advocate for criminal justice reform. Is said to have discussed prison reform with inmates. Oh, really? Oh, what kind of prison reform? They murdered their parents with a shotgun. They blew them to pieces.
All right. The Menendezes might be the wrong people to hitch your wagon to.
Yeah. For prison reform.
However, I think this country is due for a lot of prison reform.
She also spoke with... the inmates about a Greenpeace project which encourages rehabilitation by beautifying prison yards.
Oh, great.
Which both the Menendez brothers have been involved in. Oh, that's great. They're serving life for the murder of their parents, and they're getting rehabilitated by planting shrubs and putting grass seed down in the prison yard at the San Diego facility.
You got to do something to pass the time, man. I mean, they're in prison.
Yeah, they're in prison for life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what were the mother's name was Kitty. I remember that. It was Kitty Menendez.
Was it Jose?
It was Jose.
Yeah.
It was Kitty and Jose. Yes. Kitty and Jose Menendez were the parents. And they were charged with first-degree murder.
And then there was like a long, I mean, you think back to this trial, I've seen other documentaries on it. There was a long time between the murders and the arrest, and they spent tons of money, bought cars, live the luxurious life.
I remember sitting on the toilet at my parents' house in Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
And I read this long Vanity Fair article. I was
do not remember sitting on the toilet reading
I
it.
swear.
Okay, we didn't
Roxanne,
need that extra information.
I swear.
I mean, where else is he going to sit that still?
This was like a 12,000 word story.
Okay, well, now I'm worried about your health.
I sat on the toilet. I was done like half an hour earlier, and I just sat there reading because the story was engaging.
I'll tell you what, Vanity Fair does have some of the
Get
best
off
write-ups.
the toilet. That's a PSA.
When I remember in the early 90s sitting on the toilet reading a 20-page Vanity Fair article on the Menendez brothers, that's a good article if I remember that. Literally, I could see myself in the powder room in the hallway downstairs. It was white and it was a green with a green floral print in my parents' that was the powder room bathroom.
Oh, your
and
poor
I
mother.
just sat there reading about the Menendez brothers in Vanity Fair for half an hour.
Todd, are you okay in there?
Yes, Mom. I'm just reading the Vanity Fair article on the two guys that murdered their parents.
Honey, I'm worried about him. He's been in the bathroom for a half an hour.
You're gonna get hemorrhoids.
Roxanne,
kick the door in.
I swear.
Honey, you walk in.
I remember. I'm not
isn't
making
a
this
joke.
up.
Okay.
It's not a joke. I remember it was a great article.
It's definitely TMI, but
If anyone wants to search the article, Vanity Fair, maybe 1990-ish.
Roxanne, you make it sound
91?
like you've never sat on the commode and got lost in doing something or reading something. You've never doom scrolled on the Pato with nobody bothering you, and you realize I'm done. I gotta go.
I was so engrossed
Everybody's
I
done
couldn't
it.
get up.
Yeah, everybody's done it.
I was in sitting position. I was just reading the whole Vanity Fair piece. I swear, I totally remember that. That's great, Kim Carr. I would rather be in the dark, solitary cell than have the Kardashians come by my jail.
and hear that voice crackle. What's it called?
Vocal fry.
Vocal fry.
Yeah.
You guys are in prison forever.
Yeah. And then guess what TV show could come back? I'll give you a hint. Washington, D.C., White House.
Oh, the Kevin Spacey one?
No, that's a good guess. That was House of Cards.
House of Cards?
House of Cards.
No. Not House of Cards.
The one
Andrew had it. Andrew said it in my ear. Go ahead. Say
What'd
it on
he
the
say?
air.
West Wing.
It is.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Aaron Sorkin is considering bringing back the West Wing after he made a White House visit. Yeah, that show ran from 99 to 2006. And Sorkin told Variety that, I'm thinking about it now. I guess he was re-inspired by visiting the West Wing recently.
who would he cast as the president? I mean, the presidency is so crazy.
It is.
I mean,
would you do
the last guy, the current guy, potentially the next person? They're all really interesting characters.
Would you do a Biden-like president? Would you do a Trump-like president?
Or would you do a President Kamala?
Yeah, or there you go.
Who knows? Or something different. I remember when 24 broke the mold, they had President Palmer as a black male president, and the country's never seen that before.
Right. And then Obama hit in 2008.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know where you were going with the Aaron Sorkin decided to do it after he did more cocaine and was inspired to write. He was a cocaine addict.
Is he still?
No, but I didn't know. You said white.
Maybe
and
it was
I was thinking
Aaron
white
Sorkin's.
powder.
Maybe it was Aaron Sorkin's
And
cocaine that was found in the West Wing. Remember
he's,
that?
He's since gone to rehab, but I was like, maybe he used to be afraid that if he quit, that he wouldn't have his writing ideas.
Moving along, there is a recall which could be deadly. Our state is among the states affected by the recall.
Uh-oh.
Does it have to do with deli meats? Because
No,
I'm over
it's
this.
it's milk. Lactaid. Now, Lactaid, that's the milk product where they take the lactose out of the milk so it's consumable by lactose intolerant individuals, right?
Yeah.
Lactaid.
Yeah, I've never purchased Lactaid.
Because Lactaid is also a drug. You can also take a pill, right? Isn't there a Lactaid pill? Lactaid milk, and I've seen it in the store. Lactaid milk has been recalled in 27 states because of potential traces of almonds.
Oh, because they've mixed their milk
With
dairy
almond,
factory
maybe
with their almonds milk.
Do you have a factory that makes both
Right.
Lactaid and almond milk?
I'm sure they do. Lactaid just doesn't have the appeal to me. Like when I see that, I have the hiccups right now. When I see that name, it doesn't make me want to thirsty for milk.
Yeah. Dairy company Hood has voluntarily recalled Lactaid, a lactose-free dairy milk, in 27 states because of potential exposure to almonds. The milk may contain trace amounts of almonds, which were not listed on the label, could pose a risk to people with nut allergies or severe sensitivity. The FDA says individuals may run the risk of serious or life-threatening allergic reactions. Yeah, Hood issued the recall on Friday. 96-ounce containers of whole, 1%, 2% fat-free, 2% calcium-enriched Lactaid milk that were shipped to retailers and wholesalers from September 5th through September 18th. States where the recalled milk was sold include Florida. So we are on the list along with 26 other states.
Can they do anything else with this Lactaid? They have to throw it away? Can an animal without a nut allergy potentially use this or consume it or mix it into some kind of...
Everyone that bought the milk is not returning the milk. You know, if someone's, oh my God, my Lactaid is being recalled because of a potential exposure to trace amounts of almonds. And if someone says, well, I'm not allergic to almonds.
You'd never know.
Exactly. So
I just figured out why I don't like the word Lactaid as a product.
Because of women lactating.
Yeah. So I picture, this is what I picture. Lactate. So I picture the breasts, and then I picture aid like a Band-Aid. So I picture Band-Aids over nipples when I see that bottle.
Yum.
So this actually became a lot hotter to me. I never thought of drinking it until I'm going to stop by Walmart on the way home.
Before we get out of here, from the guys, it's too late department, from the too little too late, hey, where were you over the last couple of years? It's also food-related, recall-related, and Fester, it's regarding...
Oh, my God, I don't know. What?
Come on, Boar's Head.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought
you said no deli meat
Yeah, you even said it a minute ago. Yeah, Boar's Head has dozens of workers deep cleaning that Virginia plant whose listeria outbreak led to... deaths.
Yeah, the next buyer is going to want to make sure it's cleaned up. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah. So Boar's Head said last week they're closing this Jarrett, Virginia facility. 500 workers at this plant in a town of 600 people.
I mean, can they disinfect this facility and reuse it? I mean, it's a tens of millions of dollars facility. It's a very, very intricate facility.
They're doing a full deep clean and scrub. That's why I said, oops, little too late. Day late, dollar short.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where were you deep cleaning this plant?
Just 6 months ago.
Continuously, daily, so you didn't have a giant listeria outbreak. I mean, to the point where Boar's Head is totally discontinuing liverwurst. Wow, what a story. Yeah, the company has no plans to reopen it, but they have dozens of people scrubbing the place. Yeah, which should have been done continuously and not after the fact. That's crazy. Sounds like they ought to just burn the place to the ground. It's what they ought to do.
Demolish it. I mean,
exactly.
Is the land worth anything in the middle of nowhere, Virginia?
Yeah, it is. It's exactly. It's the middle of nowhere, Virginia.
I mean, yeah.
It's like 80 or 90 miles south of Richmond. It's
sounds great.
You got a town of 600 people. It is the middle of nowhere, Virginia. All right, 9:48 at the MJ Morning Show. Let's give away Rocky Horror Picture Show tickets right now. This is pretty cool. So the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Let's do the time warp again. It's a jump to the left. Is that right?
Yeah,
step to the right or whatever. Put your hands on your hips. What is the pelvic thrust, right?
Who's going to be there from the original cast?
Patricia Quinn, who was the original Magenta in the Rocky Horror cast. She'll be there at the meet and greet. This is a VIP deal. If you would like to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show for a special event at the Mahaffey Theater on October 3rd at 8 p.m. for the 49th anniversary tour, just be caller number 21 right now. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. You're going to go see Rocky Horror on October 3rd at the Mahaffey Theater with an original cast member in tow. So that'll be exciting.
Tim Curry not available?
No. All right. Folks, we'll see you back here tomorrow for the MJ Morning Show on Q105. And do me a favor, let's be careful out there. This has been an RKO presentation.
Hear the latest MJ Morning Show podcast on the Q105 app, powered by Anna Jar and Levine Accident.